Welcome to another edition of Banter and Babble. I am the Dude79, and joining me always, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Fanboytone. Mr. Fanboytone, what's going on, dude?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're almost done with this retail holiday bullshit.
Oh.
We almost done.
Has it been busy?
Not like it has been in the past, but enough to drive you nuts. Yes, it's been busy.
I can bet. I believe it, man. I believe it. Good evening, everybody.
There.
Hope everyone's having a wonderful, what is it, Wednesday?
I don't know. What month is it?
October? 1 week.
Oh.
1 week from Christmas.
Yeah, right about.
We're right there. We're almost there, and more importantly, we're almost to the end of 2020. We're almost to the end, dude. We're close.
We are finally.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting close to being done with this just abysmal fucking year, the worst year. But yeah, man, we're here for another episode, the final episode of 2020. Probably, unless we do some kind of a stream, probably gonna be the last production for Banter and Babble through 2020. Unless, are you doing anything next Wednesday? Because it's the night before things. I won't be available.
No.
Right.
Drinking.
Yo, what's up, Tricky Regent? Prime Didac? Nope, there is nothing to clam. There's nothing to clam.
No.
Prime.
Yeah, well, Prime, maybe in your pants, but no clams here.
And House Beat, the VIP section is those stairs to your right. Basically, go the opposite direction of Prime.
Right.
Where Prime is sitting, don't sit there. Sit somewhere else. There's much better spots. Atomic Boom, Drastin, what's going on, fellas? Yeah, I'm just excited for this year to be over with. I'm excited to get back into Banter and Babble in 2021. We've got a lot of cool stuff planned that we're gonna probably, begin implementing that first show of in January. We're gonna implement the call-in feature where you, the viewers, will be able to call into the show and chime in on whatever topics that maybe you got an opinion on. So we'll have that implemented. We're also going to have emotes for the channel for subscribers and whatnot. So we plan to add that as well. So we got a lot of cool stuff. There's a couple other things we're working on, but yeah, we will evolve the show greatly beginning January. I think it's January 6th.
And we're going to talk about doing a show Monday through Friday now as well too.
Yeah, I haven't talked to my wife about that yet. So hopefully she's not watching because she doesn't know about that yet.
I was just kidding then.
No, that'd be dope though. Wouldn't that be sweet if we could do this full time?
I mean, it would make your day better if you had more of me in it. I'm saying.
Probably not at all. But before we get into what we've been playing, what we've been doing, what else is going on, what are we drinking
We are
tonight?
drinking the Spotted Cow, a little brewery in Wisconsin called New Glarus Brewing Company, employee owned.
Ooh,
It seems to be a kind of a trend in Wisconsin because we know the Packers are owned by the fans, which is really cool.
That's really interesting.
That's really cool. Way better team to root than the Lions. But yes, this has actually been donated to us by a member here of the community and a longtime friend of mine, Kronos. He likes to get in and play Among Us with us as well too, and get a little sus. It's a very wheat heavy ale, it's a very smooth natural ale. It's what you would kind of expect for like a microbrewery to do something close to like something that Anheuser would do, like a Bud Light, but not being so cheap with the piss and everything like that. And it's actually a drinkable beer. So it's a very smooth wheat ale. He gave us a few of these to try, and so far.
Yeah, they're tasty.
Good. Yeah,
they're actually really tasty. They're going on very smooth. Like you said, it's not like you're drinking like a Budweiser or anything like that. You're not drinking one of those.
Right.
But it's a very smooth beer. It's only, I think, 4.8 is
4.8, yeah, which is low for us these days.
So we'll get too wrecked. But I don't know, you've got a couple beers in the fridge too we might get to. It's going to be a long show, but we're going to try to get through it at a reasonable rate because I know everyone's going to, Prime is already well past his bedtime. Prime won't even make it past the first topic probably.
He's got one eye closed right now.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be done.
You've tried this? Oh, he's tried the Spotted Cow.
Yeah, Spotted Cow is pretty good. Yeah, man, this is decent. I think it's pretty good. Like I said, it doesn't blow you away. You're not, holy fuck, that's so unique. You're just like, man, that's cool.
No, it's smooth.
Yeah, very smooth.
Perfect.
No aftertaste, no nothing like that. It's just it's a chill beer. It's a very chill beer.
Very chill beer.
I recommend drinking it chilled. So yeah, that's what we're drinking tonight. Check it out. Definitely worth a look. But Tone, I know you've been busy with work. Have you had a chance to play anything?
Yeah, my sweet cabinet I built. Or Capitol.
Oh, that's right.
Right. Yeah, so I'm big into the arcade one. I shouldn't say big. I've got two now, but this one was a special one.
Two prominent ones,
Yeah. NBA Jam is one of the greatest games of all time and also one of the best games to hate your friends about while playing. But I did get that Marvel versus X-Men one.
Yes, you did.
So it's a lot of fighting games. 4 fighting games on it. Sadly, it didn't come with what I thought was going to be on it, was the Marvel arcade game that you get to play as Colossus, where he does the big. That's not on there.
What does he do again? I thought I was watching a porno.
But it's got a lot of great fighting games on it too. So one of my favorite fighting games on the PlayStation 1, Marvel vs. Capcom, or Capcom versus Marvel Superheroes, is on there. So it's fun to play that too. But it's very sharp. It's very cool. But other than that, as you know, I've been dabbling a little bit in Night City when I've got time. Right now, I don't.
Yes. We'll be talking a lot about Cyberpunk here briefly. But yeah, no, and I like what you're doing with it, because like you have 2 right now, but your plan is to have a wall full of these cabinets, correct?
I want to.
I mean, this is like one of those things you just take your time doing.
Yeah, these things are $500 a pop. They come now. Now they add the risers and they come with stools. When you first were buying these back in the day, they didn't have the risers. They were like $400 and they were real short. Now they come with the extra risers, so it's a little bit higher. And a lot of them these days come with stools. So I've actually bought an extra stool, to match the Marvel cab. It's another variation of the Marvel one that doesn't come with the cab. So I technically have 3 because the NBA came with it. But yes, I want the TMNT one still. That's really kind of the one that everybody always ends up wanting. And I kind of, the more I've had these now, I'm like, kind of want.
I dig it.
If I just had 2 at the end of the day, like I can't think of anything else that we would do. I think if I do a third one, me and Cappadocian might get together and build an emulation one where you can have a big old cab, but emulate up your Sega games, your Nintendo games, like do something like that instead. Those are actually easy to build. Do something like Raspberry Pi or something. So that might be the plan.
So now that you've got those 2, what's the next one, whether it's immediate or distant, that you are definitely looking at? Like, what is the next one you definitely want to get your hands on?
They haven't announced anything new yet that I'm aware of, but I would want that TMNT cab if I went arcade one up. But I think at the end of the day, I think I kind of want to do a build. I think I want to build one.
Oh, really?
Put one of those kits together, do that Raspberry Pi emulation.
Be kind of hot.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Why not?
Get something ready for the next topic. But yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit more. I've been playing, a game I want to talk about briefly, and I know you're going to check out here pretty soon, is Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, you've really been digging that.
That game is really good. It's really good. It's fun to play. It's got a massive world. Now, there's a lot of comparisons between that and Zelda Breath of the Wild, and they're appropriate. They are. It makes total sense. But I definitely like this game a lot more. I feel like the world is much more busy. There's more stuff to do. Whereas, that was my biggest thing about Breath of the Wild. Yeah, well, the gameplay was there, exploring that massive world that just seemed kind of blah.
Right.
In my opinion, I know there's different opinions on the game. It's obviously a very widely regarded game, and a lot of people love it. But I just could not get into the world. It was just kind of like, it's whatever. But this game, man, it's an expansive world. Each area is drastically different, and it's fun to play. The combat is cool. There's a cool upgrade system where you can upgrade your abilities. You can do some big moves, and that part is a lot of fun about it. And the story's cool. You got Zeus and Prometheus that are kind of like your narrators,
right?
And they're like a couple of bumbling idiots. Like Zeus is just like,
I've heard it's got some fun comedic shit.
There are some good laughs that are littered throughout through it. So I mean, it's cool having those guys as like your narrators. Phoenix is the character you're playing as, and it's a lot of fun. It's a beautiful beautiful game. It's a beautiful world. It's fun to play. It runs smooth.
Yeah, it's gorgeous to look
at. Definitely worth a look. If you guys or girls get a chance to jump into another game this winter, I highly recommend Immortals Phoenix Rising. I'm really digging it so far. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and honestly, like I didn't expect that I was going to be able to play it anytime soon, but it looks like I'm going to be playing it on the Switch soon. So,
I'll be curious to see how that runs on the Switch.
I kind of want to know.
Expansive. That's a big game. I mean, obviously Breath of the Wild ran on there, but again, this game is just there's more to it in terms of like the density of what's going on.
Right, which is true. So who knows what that draw distance looks like? But I think the art style is probably going to be what's going to help it the most to be able to run better.
Because it's not like a super detailed game, more cartoony than anything.
Right,
so
why not? Right? I'm done. But so you've been playing, but you've also been playing.
Cyberpunk?
No, because we're gonna get into
Destiny
that.
2?
We always fucking play that. You've been still trying to finish up that Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, still going through Spider-Man. I'm really digging it, and they just added that performance ray tracing, and I showed you that during the video.
That's fucking.
The ray tracing is pronounced. Like it's really good.
It's a big difference,
and it adds a lot when you're swinging through the city.
Yes,
and on the reflections are coming off the buildings. It looks really fucking good. It looks really good, so I'm glad that they added that just because the big announcement was that they dropped it on Miles Morales, the performance ray tracing, and was like, holy fuck, this is nuts, looks great. And then Insomniac was like, oh, by the way, It's also added to Spider-Man Remastered. You're just like, God damn, dude, that's fucking dope. I mean, it looks really good. I'm having a lot of fun with that game. I'm actually going to try to get through. I think I looked it up after I asked you how much more I had to go. I'm actually just about to hit the third and final act.
Okay.
So I think there's like 6 more.
Act.
Yeah, no, there's only like 6 or 7 missions I got to do there. So hopefully going to wrap that up next week sometime, and then I'm going to move over to Miles Morales and start my playthrough of that. I'm really excited to check that out. I'm really excited to check that because I mean, my understanding is it looks a lot better than what Spider-Man Remastered, because obviously at the core, Spider-Man Remastered is a remaster of an older game,
right?
Whereas Miles Morales is a much
unbelievable,
a more technical achievement. So
unbelievable.
I'm definitely excited to check that out for sure. So. And then obviously, I've been playing some Cyberpunk 2077, and that's going to be the first thing we're going to talk about. So before we get into that.
Before we do I want a quick shout out this sweet Flex Division t-shirt by Rohit Raju.
Yeah.
And of course, the Jake Something Book of Something over here. You can get your Wrestling Pro tees at ProWrestlingTees.com. Check them out. Search Rohit Raju and Jake Something. Support our friends. They rule. We love wrestling.
Rohit just had a new t-shirt.
He did have a new t-shirt popped up. You guys seen it around on our socials right now. He did a
Mocha Skin
Mandalorian shirt with him with the belt
Incredible.
Being Baby Yoda or the child, whatever, Grogu, whatever.
Whatever you want to call it. It's a dope ass t-shirt.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Check it out.
It's a really good t-shirt. So that's available today as well. We're repping. The other thing we want to rep is our good buddy.
Yes.
Fet's Toy Depot.
Yes, Fet's Toy Depot has been, as always, busy in the area doing a lot of charity work. He did a lot of stuff for Halloween as well too.
Yep.
They're always doing charity work. But this last weekend,
yep,
they did lightsaber night at the store over there, and people cosplayed up. That's actually his niece there. That's a great Ahsoka.
Oh, is she Ahsoka?
That's Ahsoka right there.
Okay, in the bottom right. Okay,
That's pretty awesome. That's his niece. They had a great night that night doing some lightsaber battles. Had a great showing out for that too. And then the big one is coming up actually as well this Saturday.
Yep, 4 p.m. Eastern time.
Fatmas over at the old Bearded Axe as per usual.
Yes.
Go hang out. I believe they're gonna have some snacks as per usual. Probably some stuff you can buy and just throw some Chinese stars, throw some throwing stars, throw some knives. Throw some axes at whoever, wherever. Just make sure you end up hitting the wall. But check them out. They're doing a lot of stuff. If you're in locally, check out the Facebook page, Fet's Toy Depot.
Fet's Toy Depot.
And definitely the Bearded Axe, too. These guys work together and do a lot of great stuff.
And he gets people. I mean, he has great turnouts for these things. Like,
he
people
really
are
does.
And they have a good time. I mean, that looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, man. Everybody's
all the
having
lightsabers.
A blast. Everybody's having a blast, man. It's great.
Yeah, that's dope, man. And I love how he does it because, that's where I grew up, is out his way where he's at. And, for them to do stuff like that and have that kind of like stuff for the community to take part in and go out and do that, that's so dope, man. I fucking love that.
They're doing a lot of charity stuff in the area, a lot of volunteer work, and it's really awesome. And it's these two coming together and doing the stuff they do are definitely pillars of the community right now, and that's important, and especially with the kind of year we've had. So,
yeah, I mean, and it's hard, and it's not easy for him to do this. I mean, it's difficult. You gotta have protocols, you gotta have things in place, but he keeps everyone safe and everyone has a good time, and it's just it's great. I'm really glad that him and Bearded Axe are able to put these kind of things together, and like you said, kind of get the community something to be excited about. And what has been mostly a shitty year.
It's hard to do stuff right now, but they managed to pull it off. So great.
Yes, so this Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern time at Bearded Axe, it's Fetsmas. It'll be a good time for sure.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome, good stuff from Fet's Toy.
You might even catch me there. However, it's hard to with work. Well, the way my schedule is right now, I have the ability to do more stuff at night, so I'm going to try and make it out finally.
Great. So you're going to go over there and get shit-faced and start a fight with somebody. Cool, man.
I'm not going to get shit-faced, but I might
scumbag.
throw some axes, maybe some batarangs. I don't know. But,
I know how you are, buddy.
Where the drugs being hidden.
Yes, thank you so much for that subscription, Forge. Appreciate you, buddy. All right. Let's move on.
It does, Space. I know. It was a good time.
The first topic of the evening, and that's a big one.
Hi, Andy. My California friend.
Arguably the biggest, most anticipated game of the year, and the box is it's flickering because it's green.
Is it really?
Yeah, we're gonna get that out of there.
It's gonna drive you nuts.
Holy
drive
shit! Me nuts. But the most anticipated game, arguably, of the generation,
I would say that's fair,
is Cyberpunk 2077 from CD Projekt Red. They of Witcher fame. These guys are the creme de la creme. I'm drunk. The creme de la creme. I think that's how you say it. Basically RPGs. I mean, these guys, obviously, Witcher 3 is arguably one of the best RPGs of last generation. I know you're a huge fan of the Witcher game. You played through everything.
Yeah, I can't get enough of it.
Just ridiculous amount of hours. You're a huge fan of CD Projekt Red, and I think that's going to make for an interesting conversation here because obviously, leading up until the release of Cyberpunk 2077, we had mostly all we'd seen was PC gameplay,
yes,
and PC previews.
And this was after 2 or 3 date pushes.
Yeah, date pushes,
Delays.
E3s, everything.
Right.
I mean, we're seeing all this, we're seeing that, and it's just the problem with it, you guys, and we're gonna dive into this is just
we already got people hired too. Like we've already got this is gonna be a strong. We know there's a lot going on. It's gonna be great.
And
with
no
all y'all.
opinion is wrong here. It's just we just got to understand something that when people are pre-ordering a game from a developer of high repute, I mean they're CD Projekt Red, like I said, and they've been talking about this game for a long time. This was announced in 2012?
2013, I believe. So it was 7 years announcement, but I think they were already working somewhere, like something in it for 8 years. That's what
my understanding is it was in pre-production. It was planning all this stuff, but it didn't hit like major production until 2016. Is my understanding is when they started actually. Right, yeah, because Witcher 3 came out 2015.
They showed something in 2013 on Cyberpunk. Really
briefly, it was basically your EA. Here's our wireframes and concept art and all this shit.
7 years down the road.
So then 2016 they started to ramp up, and then 2018 I think it was when they hit like full on production. But here's the thing, and here's the issue that people have with this, man, is they announced this thing. I think it was actually 2012, late 2012. It was before the new consoles were out. It was before the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are out.
Well, that's why I'm saying 2013, because I think it's before the PS4 and the Xbox dropped.
So they announced it, and they say, hey, look, it's coming to the PC and next gen consoles, and everyone's like, oh, sweet, fuck yeah, let's see what we got going on. And then Witcher 3 comes out, it's critically acclaimed, it's a fucking amazing game, there's a whole lot going on in it. It's an expertly crafted RPG. And after Witcher 3, we started seeing them show up, announcements at E3, coming to Xbox One, coming to PlayStation 4.
And it was like blurbs of stuff they'd show on Cyberpunk.
Yes. And so leading up to that, a lot of talk. I mean, this thing is coming to these consoles. This will be an end of the generation thing. They're going to take they're going to use everything that the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One had. These are going to be amazing games, much like you see from a lot of these games at the end of generations, like The Last of Us. End of the generation, technical achievement, amazing game. And everyone expected something like that from Cyberpunk. So here comes the release, and we noticed right before launch that there's videos popping up here and there and stories about the PS4 and the Xbox One struggling, and there's issues with it. And, man, they are working hard to take these videos down. CD Projekt Red is issuing out things, whatever they're called, to pull these videos down, get them offline, leave them alone. They shouldn't be there.
That I didn't know, really?
Oh, yeah, they were pulling stuff down. There were videos getting pulled down. And so, it comes out, and we find out all the reviews. Every review was on PC. Nobody, no outlets, got an Xbox One or PlayStation 4 code. Okay, now that's suspect.
Well, so the days leading up to Cyberpunk, we were doing a lot of back and forth on some of this stuff.
Yep.
And you were like, yo, none of this stuff's talking about consoles. And I was like, really?
Nope.
Because, most time I can't fuck around when I'm at work. And you're like, yeah, this is what's going on. I'm like, really?
Yeah, nothing for consoles. Nothing for consoles.
Which starts throwing up flags.
You've spent the last 5 years touting this game for these consoles and PC. And I don't think anyone ever was worried about the PC version being trash. Nobody was worried about that. Everyone knew the PC version was going to be elite. No problems with that. I understood that. But I would expect this game to work and properly function on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. I would expect a working game for as long as it's been in production.
At the very least, I think.
You look at games like technical achievements, like again, Ghost of Tsushima. You look at Gears 5, a technical achievement on Xbox. These are beautiful fucking games that run great. These games look and run great. Okay, and so the game launches. The reviews are all through the roof. Oh, it's a 10 out of 10. It's the best game of this generation, best story. But then we start getting reports about the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One versions. And they're not good reports. we're getting reports of frame rates somewhere in the 15s and the 20s on the base Xbox, like the launch Xbox. That's inexcusable.
Mhm.
That's inexcusable. And again, I'm not attacking anyone that's enjoying the game on those systems. I'm glad you're enjoying them, but there are a lot of people who are not enjoying them.
Right.
There's a lot of people who are super disappointed, and they're not. I don't think they're whining. I think they have a right to be upset.
Mm-hmm.
This game, based on what Digital Foundry has put out, I trust Digital Foundry. They do great analysis. They break down these games. The Xbox One and the PlayStation versions of this game run like shit.
Yeah, overall, yeah.
They run. There's no disputing it. You look at the analytics of these videos, the numbers that they're posting on the screen. These games run like shit.
Wasn't there one that showed like 14 frames?
Dude, yeah, they were dropping down to the 14 frame. I'm sorry. This is poorly optimized shit. This is garbage. It's not lock 30. This game is skipping all over the place. It's crashing everywhere. It's got there's all sorts of glitches happening in the game. This is an unmitigated disaster on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And again, I'm not attacking the people who are huge fans of CD Projekt Red, even though I think sometimes maybe the blinders are on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, there are people out there who are disappointed with the product they purchased. And it does not help one iota. And in fact, I think it hurts the reputation of CD Projekt Red for not to reveal anything. Any gameplay, nothing. Hiding this. They knew people were pre-ordering this game like fucking crazy.
They admitted after the fact this week.
We'll talk about the statement.
They
knew what they were doing.
They admitted that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They pushed out this game. They made sure you, the consumer, did not see the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version. I don't fucking care. Dude, if Naughty Dog does this, I'm a huge fan of Naughty Dog. Mm-hmm. I never played The Witcher 3. I played a little bit, but not enough to be like, oh my God, CD Projekt Red, you can do no wrong.
Right.
I love Naughty Dog. I love Naughty Dog. I love the way they tell their stories. Had they pushed out The Last of Us 2 on PlayStation 5 and the PS4 version ran like fucking Cyberpunk does, furious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Furious. I'm not defending them. I'm not saying, well, it's old hardware. Bullshit. This thing's been in development for 4 years. From the very beginning when they started to full-on push in 2018. This is inexcusable, and they hid it from people. And that right there, my friend, is disgusting.
Yeah.
But now, I'm going to calm down for a second because it's weak. But I want to get your... right. Cool me off. I want to get your thoughts because the reason I like this, and it's going to happen in the chat as well. There's going to be a good conversation there as well. People are going to
and we are definitely going to come back to a lot of the stuff that
we are going to go through a lot of these comments. I assure you, because I want to get everyone's thoughts on this.
Keep it going though, because there's a lot of you out there that's got some good stuff.
But I want to come to you because I know you're playing. I'm playing on the PlayStation 5. It's a different experience from the PlayStation 4. Yep. I'm still having issues, but I want to come to you because you are a huge fan of CD Projekt Red. You're a huge fan of Witcher. Mm-hmm. You're a big fan of the studio, and you provide that perspective that I don't have. Mm-hmm. And I want to get your thoughts on what you've experienced when you've played and how you feel about what we're seeing from CD Projekt Red's response and from the gamers out there in general.
So you mentioned something about blinders, and to me, I call it, it's about being objective, right? So what I'm going to say first is going to be clearly, yes, like you said, I'm a huge fan of CD Projekt Red. A lot of people know that. I put a lot of time into Witcher. The only other person I know around here, Pikachu out there, she's also a super fan of Witcher and CD Projekt Red too. So I've been waiting on this game for 7 years since the announcement. I love cyberpunkish stuff. I love movies like Blade Runner. I love games like Deus Ex. Very, very underrated game series, by the way. And this has everything that I like about what I would want from CD Projekt Red, which is what I was hoping the game would be Deus Ex. Then you got a little bit of Grand Theft Auto, but then you got Witcher's menus. I mean, I'm talking deep diving into power. Like when I get into a menu and I see I've got 400 things to choose from to put a skill point in, I'm that to me, like while that's a lot to think about, that's like where I want to be. That's what I want to think about that because I'm going to be thinking about all this stuff. So everything that's going on is everything that I want. The game looks awesome when it's running well. It's got all the RPG elements that I was hoping for. However, and now fortunately for me, yes, and I'm playing on a PS5. I haven't had but maybe 2 crashes. I also haven't had as much time to play. This is so ironic. I've been waiting on this game more than most people, and I've barely had maybe but 4 or 5 hours of playing. I just have not had the time.
Mhm.
So I haven't been able to dive into it like everybody else and see all the problems. I've had some problems, and it's only been crashes. I haven't had any glitches, bugs, weird shit like that.
Mhm.
When I'm playing it, I'm completely immersed.
Right.
I'm taking my time because there's no other game until March maybe that I actually care about. So for me, I'm in it for the long haul. I've always said when this game comes out, no other game's really getting played at all that I'm going to focus on unless it's a multiplayer game. All that said, because that's a lot to say. All that said, I am very, very frustrated for everybody that's having problems. I agree with most everything that you said, if not everything. I think it's very inexcusable. It's a goddamn shame. And I was saying, and I've told a lot of people this, and to many people that have heard me outside of the show in the last week or two, is like, and I was saying it early on. There he is. Look at this guy, Jared McKenzie. Jay McKenzie, me and him had a lot of back and forth back today on this. Mr. Developer there.
Oh,
We've gone back
yep.
and forth a lot today too, but it was also really good conversation. I've been saying for a couple months, or at least since it went gold, and then all of a sudden they're like 6-week push. I'm like, just move it to the springtime,
Right.
at least.
Yep.
Just fucking delay it. And even somebody, I think Forge or Jay McKenzie today said they could have at least just put out the PC and move the consoles if it was that
They
fucking
should've.
bad. And they should have. And it's really frustrating because I don't like seeing that score. Let me get I don't like seeing the score. This really fucking bothers me.
Yep.
Because this is not who this is.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, like, when The Witcher came out, had some problems and things like that. I mean, I don't remember all of that. That was 5 years ago. I don't
remember the PS4 and Xbox One versions being a 52 on Metacritic.
Right.
And people fucking live it across the board.
Right. You know, so, like, this is a whole different thing. And, like, regardless of, like, what people think about, like, you know, people whining about or whatever. Listen, here's the deal. Prime was kind of talking about it for a minute too. We are now going to be paying $70 for these games.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, and I was talking to Forge and Jay McKenzie today about it, and I'm thinking, what games in the past that I can think of that had this kind of mess? You know, like the big one I can think of that had a mess that came out like this, the last big one, like there's been some stuff that comes out and it's not playable, but was Assassin's Creed Unity. In 2015, I believe it was, in January, and they had to do like a 10 gig patch 4 weeks after it came out. It was unplayable. Diablo 3 definitely, but I'm talking like this gen, mostly in consoles, guys. I don't remember the Arkham Knight having issues, Jay McKenzie, but I do know that I've had problems on PS5 before they optimized it after I beat it, of course. But my point is not to the way people have said, here's this game you paid for and it doesn't fucking work, and it doesn't hit all these promises. And so for me, I'm very frustrated to have this happen. I'm very sad that it's happened. And I definitely don't think it's excusable. Like, this should not be a standard ever. And while it's sold well and still gets good reviews because people are saying
sold a ton.
When it's playing, the content's awesome and that's great.
Yep.
But here's my point. This is the way I equated it today. And maybe this is going to put it in perspective for everybody. There he goes. Jay McKenzie saying, don't steal my fucking shit, buddy. This is my show, motherfucker, all right? What I said earlier is it's like going to a car lot, like a salesman buying a brand new car, handing over $30,000, and then, oh, you can take it home. Oh, by the way, that tire there is flat, but we'll get to it later.
See, I think, and I'm not discrediting Jay McKenzie. He knows what the fuck he's talking about with a lot of stuff. I think that the problem with that comparison, though, is you're saying if a car, you leave the lot and there's an issue with the car, there's a wide range of issues you could have with the car. The blinker doesn't work. Cool.
You could buy a brand new TV.
I can bring that back and get it fixed.
Yeah.
If the car is crashing and stuttering and I can't fucking go anywhere and it breaks down completely different scenario. So we can't. I don't know if we can just sit there and say if you buy a car, it's their job to fix it. If the thing is a complete travesty out of the fucking thing,
right,
you're going to have a little bit more of an argument. You're going to have a little bit more pull, a little more leverage to get what the fuck you want from that dealership. So I don't know if that one, if I agree with that 100%, I understand what you're saying. But when you compare this to something like Arkham Knight or even The Witcher 3, it's not even compared. It's not apples to oranges. It's not apples to, this is different.
Yeah.
This is a complete
right
shit show on fucking on last gen consoles.
If you buy it, walk home, put it in your PlayStation 4, and in the first 10 minutes it crashes, you go, okay, well, it's a new game, I install whatever, and then you try to play it for 10 minutes more, and you lose another 20 minutes a day. You know what I mean? Like it, but
Okay, and I'm going to come back to what he says. He goes,
Yeah.
it sucks, but the game, and I understand. Look, and I'm not trying to make PC people feel bad. I knew when they were making this game, this thing was going to be a fucking peach on PC. I have no concerns with it. But there are 150 million PS4 and Xbox Ones out there. And a predominant amount of those people pre-ordered this game. Most of the pre-order sales are on those systems. Obviously, PC, there's a ton as well. But when you're looking at consoles, there are way more people that pre-ordered it there. There's way more people who are pissed about this right now. And, and I get it. And I'm glad PC people are having a good time with it. I'm glad for the most part some PS5 folks and Xbox Series X people are having a good time with it. But a lot of people are not happy with this, and rightfully so. They're not whining. They're not bitching. They're upset because a product they were sold was hidden from them by the developer, purposely hidden. Dude, they said it right here. First of all, we would like to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game on base last-gen systems before it premiered.
That's admittance.
And in consequence, not allowing you to make an informed decision about your purchases. We should have paid more attention to making it play better on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And then it goes on to the refund thing. They're telling you right there.
She's right, too.
We fucked up. But that's a lousy-ass apology. This thing, they should have had videos out there. They should have they should have just fucking delayed this thing months. And I'm happy PC people and next-gen console owners are having a great time with it. That's awesome. There's a majority of the people playing this game have been dealt a shitty fucking game, and the developer and the publisher, CD Projekt Red, published this game. Warner Brothers distributed it. This is all backed by CD Projekt Red. They made a point not to show people those versions of the game. That's fucking weak. That ruins their credibility. And I don't understand why it's so difficult to understand why people are pissed about this. It's a shit game on those consoles.
Mm-hmm. Here's the bottom line for me in this, and this is again somebody who's excited and still excited to keep getting into this game. I'm not going to not play it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are still going to buy it, and a lot of people still are buying it. Matter of fact, I'm telling people, just know you're getting probably something that's not going to work well, but hey, there's a lot of good there. They got patches coming out, whatever. It shouldn't be. We shouldn't have to go through this without holding some form of standard. Like, why can't we hold these people to a fucking standard? Like, why can't they be accountable? Like, at some point, like, if I bought, like, Ghost or Gears or, shit, even, like, let's say Halo Reach at whatever launch, like, whatever. These games worked, right? They fucking worked for the most part. You're going to run into a few things. Yeah, you buy a new TV off Walmart's fucking wall. There's a good chance that you might get a dead pixel 4 days later. It's electronic, things happen.
Right.
This is not the same thing. That doesn't equate to that.
And I don't think you, myself, or anybody in the chat expects a game of this size, of this magnitude.
No, there's going to be problems.
There's going to be bugs. I totally fucking get that. I understand. And honestly, I don't understand. It irks me when I see people going, oh my God, this game has bugs. Online games and open world massive games are always going to have bugs at launch. Always.
Mm-hmm.
So just stop getting mad about it. It's going to happen. This is a whole different level.
What is J Hill S there?
Oh, and take all the bad stuff of the last gens out of the equation. How would you rate the game on PS5? Okay, that's I think that's the one we've been playing. We can talk about that. Let's talk about that right now. PS5, your experience so far with
it's like I was saying, it's everything I wanted out of it. It's Deus Ex on steroids, and I fucking love Deus Ex. I feel it's an underrated RPG. I'm going heavy intelligence and tech. I'm less worried about. I'm going heavy intelligence and tech, but building like a stealthy ninja because Drastin likes to copy me, so I want to give him like something to work for. That's kind of what I'm building, and I love that I have the option of all of that.
Mm-hmm.
To give it a rating. Honestly, again, I keep in mind, as somebody who's way more excited than most people about this game, I have not had the hands on it like I wanted, just because of work and everything. But when I'm playing it, I don't want to stop, and I'm at work all day thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I know it's got me hooked. Now, what would I give that a rating? Minus everything that's going on with it and some of the issues. I mean, I suppose I'd probably still give it like a 9.5, but I don't feel like it's fair for me to give a rating right now either on it, too, to be fair right now.
And I'm gonna agree with you, man. Like, I'm playing it on PlayStation 5.
Skyrim did have a lot of fucking bugs.
Skyrim had a lot of bugs, but it didn't have even Skyrim didn't launch like this.
Which is true.
It didn't launch like this. I mean, like I said, the bugs fully expected. I expect there to be bugs and weird little anomalies happening here and there.
But 14
this
frame
is
rate,
a shit show.
Yeah,
this is beyond that. We're talking. We can't compare this to just a game launching with bugs. This is completely different. But the PlayStation 5 version, I've been playing it. I know you said you've had, and I think this is, again, it's crazy how the vast differences, the spectrum of people having bad experiences and good experiences. You've been playing on the PlayStation 5 just like I have. I'm having 2 or 3 crashes an hour, or not 2 or 3 crashes every session that I play. It's normally when I'm driving around or if I'm running through certain areas that are populated with a lot of people.
Can't keep up with itself.
And it'll crash. It crashes 2 or 3 times every time I play it. And when I take that with some of the visual glitches or some of these weirder things that are happening for myself, because Night City is so busy, there's so much to do, there's so much to explore. And honestly, once I got done with the first act and you get to the meatier second act, and the story really, you kind of get an idea of where they're going with the story and some of the characters. I'm not gonna lie, this game is incredibly appealing from a narrative perspective, and Prime mentioned that. We're not mad about the narrative choices here.
No.
I'm really enjoying that, but unfortunately, everything else is pulling, for myself, it's pulling me out of there with the crashes and the glitches and some of the bugs.
Well, you want to immerse and you're dealing with that kind of shit.
They made this beautiful fucking city, this beautiful world to explore. Mm-hmm. They've got these characters. Some of the side quests are really, really good. They're really good. But it's just like, dude, how much bullshit do I have to go through that's going to offset the feelings I'm getting from the story and some of the gameplay elements? And, we talk about Deus Ex. Based on what I've played so far, Deus Ex does stealth gameplay better than this game does. Does stealth gameplay way better. There was one part I was in a bar area. The music's rocking. I have a silencer on my pistol. I'm using the ability where you can make them blind so they can't hear you. I'm in a room by myself with this other enemy across the way. And I couldn't get to him because he was like kind of sitting in a chair, and he would have saw me if I would have tried sneaking up. But the music's rocking. I got the silencer on. I line up a headshot. I drop him. Everyone else in the building, because you know how you do the ping system? It'll show you everybody. Everyone else is on alert. Why? Why are they on alert?
It's a body drop?
They're not in the room.
Oh, that's weird, though.
I'm in the room by myself. And I'm just like, what? So now they're all like alerted. I'm just like, this is so weird because like I'm by myself with the silencer. Why are these guys alerted?
That's weird.
Deus Ex does stealth better so far from when I played. Now, could this be fixed with patches? And I mean, I think there's a patch coming out next week.
Could this also do about your stealth points or something like that? Like where you've got your stuff
I'm stealthed out. I'm quiet. I'm hidden.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you have a silencer on. The bar music it's loud as fuck in this joint. Everyone is in other parts of the building. A couple are upstairs, a couple are there. I have a silencer on my pistol. I dropped the dude. He's good. But everyone's alerted. I'm just like, what is going on? Why? I don't understand what's going on here. No cameras in the room. And it's just like, okay, I guess I can't be as stealthy as I want to be.
Right.
But, Deus Ex does stealth better. And, Deus Ex runs better than this. Deus Ex is a better game early on from a technical perspective and gameplay perspective. But story-wise, there is a great story here.
Oh, there is definitely a great story.
But I just can't play it right now.
I want you to scroll down just for a second.
Yeah.
I want to come back, Jay McKenzie, a little bit farther down. He said, there it is, right there. What would you want CD Projekt Red to do to appease the upset gamers? That refund, free DLC, 3 printed dildos, maybe for your mom. Feel like refunds are silly because they go kids route. They're just gonna. Well, I mean, the problem here is that we got to be careful on how much, as a consumer, we defend these people when we're buying something. We're promised. I mean,
there's got to be some accountability.
There has to be. Yeah.
Like, well, I'll keep the game because they'll fix it.
That's the point.
This bullshit.
Like, I'm not saying I'm the guy with the answers, but like, people are doing refunds for some spots, even if CD Projekt Red isn't fully like, coordinating with those folks. But I mean, that's the bottom line. Is like, it's almost, we can't give them a pass on that. We still have to say, like, the very least you should be saying, or anybody should be saying, is that they have to be held accountable. Like, this isn't acceptable. I'm buying something. Again, go to buy a brand new Prius off a car parking lot, hand them the money, and then have to drive off there with a flat tire that they knew about. They admitted they knew that the consoles weren't fucking working.
Yeah.
People are buying these fucking games, and they knew they're probably not going to work. It's not about just little bugs and glitches. It's not about a couple crashes here. It's about a fucking game that you can't play consistently for a certain amount of time. Meanwhile, I can go buy indie games for $15, and they don't have a fucking problem. There is a difference. It doesn't. No, they give you a new tire, and you go away. But no, that's not the premise this has worked. That's not how that worked at all with this entire situation. That's entirely different.
Like, here's my thing with it, Jay. Like, this is shady. I mean, no matter how you slice it, you could throw me the different comparisons and how this compares to this and that. They actively pulled down videos of the game running on base consoles because they knew it was shit. They actively made sure reviewers only got PC versions because they knew it ran like shit. They actively did everything they could to hide this game from the people who had been pre-ordering for months. Inexcusable. Yeah, there's no exceptions. There's no reasoning. There's no, hey, well, I mean, it's CD Projekt Red. No. Shady as fuck. End of story.
Yeah, maybe they should have just switched gears. Cap said that a couple times this week. And just released it on PS5, Series X, and
that brings
PCs.
up a great question people were talking about, too, what you were just about to say. Now everyone's starting to ask, should Halo Infinite even come to Xbox One?
That was going around right after the potato
Dude,
phase.
Immediately after this shit broke, people are starting to wonder, should they put this game out on Xbox One? If there's that big of a difference between the Series X version running at 60 frames, and the Series X version does look a little bit better than the PS5. It's a little bit cleaner image. You got some different options in there. But should they release this game on Xbox One?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, is this going to be the same scenario?
I'm not that I'm sorry, I'm that guy. Like, when you're releasing stuff, like, at some point, there's got to be a cutoff. You either get with the times or you get left behind.
Yep.
Period. I'm sorry. That's
the same
just
with
how
PlayStation, man. It's the same with PlayStation. Horizon, for something to the west, whatever it is, should that be on PS5, or should they just focus, or should that be on PS4? Or should they just focus on the PS5?
Well, but the difference is again, that's a first-party developer developing for the tech they've had their hands on longer than anybody else, because there's perspective there too. If you're talking first-party people developing on tech that you're more familiar with, it's going to have less chances of issues. But you got a group like CD Projekt Red who probably plays more around on PC. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe they missed some bugs and stuff like that. But if the game is broken and unplayable, and they just literally admitted it, there's entirely two different thought processes there for me. So at that point, like, even if, like, say 343 can't get Potato Halo to run on Xbox One, don't fucking put it on Xbox One. Just put it on Series X.
Sure.
At some point, we got to move forward.
Atomic asked, what about Stadia version? Did we cover that already? No, but I showed you that earlier when I was playing on my phone, because Stadia just released their ability to play games on iOS devices. Mm-hmm. And I played it the other day on my TV with Stadia. Runs great.
Uno runs flawlessly on.
Look, Stadia, it caught a bad rap out the gate, and rightfully so. There were legitimate concern or gripes with it, but technically speaking, Stadia fucking works. Stadia works great. I have a ton of time played on Destiny 2 on Stadia. Multiplayer time played on Stadia, and it runs great. It works great. And yes, the Stadia version of Cyberpunk runs great. It's the PC version basically, and it runs great on Stadia.
The last thing I'm going to say to you, Schmerid, is two things actually.
Oh,
I'm not saying that we storm there with pitchforks and do the rabble bullshit. But you have not yet once conceded that these developers should be held accountable for the product they're selling to the consumer. Ooh. There has to be a standard. Period.
I mean,
there has to be a standard. Listen, we know that games are going to come out and there's going to be issues. That's one thing. This is unlike anything we've seen in a while. This is bigger than that.
Dude,
this is bigger than that.
When Activision released gameplay of Call of Duty, probably their biggest title under their umbrella. When they released the gameplay on the Vita, you remember that when they showed it at the E3?
Oh yeah.
Everyone was like, "Oh God, that looks like shit."
Right.
That looks terrible. When they put out Call of Duty video at E3, and it looked like shit, everyone knew this game sucks. This looks terrible. And when it came out, it bombed horribly with critics.
Right.
I played it. It's fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I had to pick it up because I had to cover it for the site that I was working on at the time. And I was like, this is fucking awful. But I knew it. And I told people, don't buy this. It's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Where, they didn't dupe you. It was a very short video, but everyone knew right away, that looks fucking terrible. And it was awful.
That was a whole mess.
Mackenzie says, sure, give refunds to the people that want it. Don't they already do this? So what's the issue? Actually, it's really difficult to get a refund
for one,
Sony, especially.
For one, especially for a developer that is relying on retailers to sell their product, not directly. For one, especially, I would say to you, the second thing I was going to say to you, try playing on a PS4, and we'll see if this conversation is the same way. You got a 5, so you have a different perspective. You're not playing on a PS4. I know people that play on a PS4 Pro that are still able to play it, which is closer to the 5.
Somebody asked how the Pro version is going forward. Chamber asked. I believe the Pro and the Xbox One X are okay.
Yeah,
like they're not. They're not.
Guys I know that are playing on the Pro are
they're
they're still dealing with. But the bottom line is this, and like, what do we go from here? Well, where we go from here is we at least they recognize and they've apologized and they've said they admitted, by the way, again, that they were clearly kind of put on the wool over people's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Where we go from here is the standard is if you're buying a product, you might have some issues. You might have a dead pixel on the brand new TV you got. You get it exchanged within 30 days or whatever. You are not being sold something admittedly known that doesn't fucking work. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
You don't buy a fucking whole new glass set for your kitchen, and when you buy them, they say, oh yeah, by the way, the entire glass set's already smashed. See ya. That's not how that shit works.
I think the issue is more. It's the principle of the situation.
That's what it is. It's the principalities.
It's the principality, Smokey.
Exactly.
No, and like I said, I think this is a good conversation. And obviously, there's a lot of different perspectives. A lot of people have different perspectives on this, or having different experiences with it. But like I said, my issue with it is this game. It's I'm not going to argue Digital Foundry. They're very good at what they do at breaking down these games and analyzing how they look and run. And the facts are the PS4 versions and the Xbox base versions run like total shit. Now, could somebody play a shit game and have a good time with it? Sure, I guess so. But for the most part, hardcore gamers, a lot of hardcore gamers, and I'm not saying if you're okay with this, you're not a hardcore gamer. I'm just saying there's a lot of people out there that have a certain expectation of a video game, especially when it's from somebody like CD Projekt Red. Dude, CD Projekt Red is right up there with the Naughty Dogs and the Coalitions and all these developers of creating polished experiences. They're known for this. And they hid the fact that this game runs like total shit. That's the issue I have with it. I don't have an issue that people are enjoying it. I don't have an issue that some people don't, aren't liking it on certain systems. That's all subjective, and that's totally fine. My issue with it is they fucking lied to people. They did everything they could to hide it. They took their record sales. They made all their money back on pre-orders immediately. But they did it because they hid everything from people. That's weak as fuck. End of story.
Unethical.
But, I mean, it's at the end of the day, Forge got a big one here. I'm definitely not saying people should abandon consoles, but if you have to buy a PS4, PS4 Pro, PS5 to get games to run right, why not just play on PC? Yes, I'm a member of the Master Race, but CD Projekt Red should have built the game to run on the base models of the PS4 because when a game is cross-platform, you have to build to the lowest common denominator. Exactly. You can't make the game require a GTX 1060 on PC and then port it to 7-year-old console. I actually agree with a lot of what Forge said there. But there's, look, I'm not going to get into the debate of how much it costs to build a PC compared to how much it costs to buy a console. There's more to it than just that. There's the convenience of it. I have a PC that I play on. I couldn't build a fucking PC if I had to. I want the simplicity of going to the store and buying a console, and when I'm watching a developer say this is being a developer of high regard telling me this game will run on your console, it better fucking run on my console. I don't care which one I bought. If you're promoting this game for that system and you're a company that people believe in and trust that will develop or deliver a great polished product, you better do it. Because I'm not going to trust you after that. It's really that simple. Don't fucking lie to me. Don't hide shit from me. I'm not going to go out and buy a fucking big-ass PC. I'm not going to build one. I understand that you can get it for a pretty cheap price. For the most part, everything I've looked at, to have the PC that I want is infinitely cheaper for me to buy a PS5 and an Xbox Series X. Simple as that. But I'm sorry. This is just inexcusable what CD Projekt Red did here with the release of this game.
And it's frustrating because, again, I've been looking forward for a long time. And I'm not having the issues everybody else is, but listen, there's a patch coming out the 21st.
Yep, got a patch on the 21st.
You know, so it's taken 2 or 3 weeks for the thing. You know, we're going to get there.
You think they were crunching before?
I mean, right. So
Man.
At the end of the day, and Jared's been a longtime friend of mine. You know, we were going back and forth on some of this earlier today as well too. So it's all kosher. I mean, we're all going to have our opinions. We get excited or whatever. But
we knew this was going to be a hot conversation.
This is a hot conversation.
And I love it. I love the chat was into it. Everyone was into it. Everyone was very passionate.
Yep.
And I respect everyone's opinions. I really do. It's just there's certain things I can't tolerate that maybe some other people can, and it is what it is.
You think you feel differently if they market it as a PS5 game that you can throw in your PS5 for? I mean, I just think the game needs to work consistently maybe not. I mean, I don't know, maybe, but it just needs to be, you can't, listen, if a game comes out and it's got some issues, we all know that's going to happen once in a while, but if it comes out like Assassin's Creed Unity and it's a big hot turd,
right?
That's a whole other ball game, man. That's
Moudini just jumped in. Is it so bad? So it's bad that on PS5. PS5 is serviceable. I think.
It's
I've had multiple crashes, but
just
it
make
runs
sure you
smooth.
save every 2 minutes, like I do. Anyways,
HDR is fucking bonk. It's fucking broke. Like that's
you
broke.
Gotta turn it off and everything. So
it's got some issues, but it runs better on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. You'll be fine there. But Tone mentioned there's an update coming on the 21st. And then we're supposed to get 2 large patches, one in January, one in February, that's supposed to clean up a lot of the issues and optimize them a little bit more for next-gen systems. So I don't know. They didn't mention when we're going to get the full-on next-gen treatment. The way they're doing this right now is that the system can recognize that you're playing a PlayStation 4 Pro version or something like that, and it kind of enhances the what it's built for in that regard. Same with the Xbox Series X, but we don't know when we're going to get the fully optimized PS5 and Xbox Series X.
At the very least, it's what I was saying 2 months ago. They should have just at the very least, push the console versions to the spring.
I wish they would have, because I can't. I'm not going to play this game. Because again, it's a testament to how good it is. There's certain elements that are really, really good, and I want to play it, but I don't want it ruined by just weird, goofy things going on.
Gosh.
Anywho. Yes. I was gonna say at least it's not bricking systems yet, right? Well, I mean, hopefully it doesn't get to that. I haven't had a brick, but I've had multiple crashes where it just takes me back to the cross media bar or whatever it's called, the main menu of the PlayStation 5. But knock on wood, no brick system.
Yeah,
but you guys, seriously, let's see. Megara said, "I got super hot under the collar, and I still will be talking about this. I have to hold back in this conversation." No, you don't. I don't want you to feel like we're not attacking anybody's opinion.
Just Sir Jay McKenzie.
We might disagree. Might disagree, but I respect you 1,000%. First of all, you're always here. You're always a part of the conversation, and I never want anyone to hold anything back. This was going to be a hot topic. We knew that before we went live with the show. We're like, man, this is going to be a hot topic. There's going to be a lot of various opinions on it. There's going to be some heat. We knew that. And I don't ever want anyone to hold back. You can say whatever the hell you want. But
40 hours already? Damn, okay.
Prime's got 40 hours.
And I know Pikachu had earlier said that she actually was glad that she canceled on console and moved to PC. Which, at this point, in hindsight, that's probably the best choice.
Megara, no one's going to get mad at you. You can say whatever you want. Now, if you say you're going to kill somebody, then they might be mad. If you go cray-cray. But, girl, voice your opinion. If people disagree, it is what it is. You might have people that do agree. It's whatever. Yeah. This is a hot topic. I would love to talk in real life with you guys about that. It would be fun. You know what? Whenever. Yeah. I do an IRL talk. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm not, when I get heated about this stuff, it's not because I disagree with people. It's because I'm passionate about gaming.
We're animated about gaming.
I'm very animated about gaming, and I expect certain things, especially from a developer like CD Projekt Red. While I don't have a lot of time with Witcher 3 to appreciate what they can do, I have an expectation built up by friends like Tone or people who have played Witcher 3 and like, man, fucking amazing storytellers, fucking amazing gameplay. I expect that going in. Just like if I tell somebody, man, Naughty Dog, The Last of Us games, Uncharted games, fucking amazing games. If they release a turd like this, oh man, I'd be like, oh shit, my bad. Sorry, I sold you on it.
Man, yeah, you're right, Mood. There was a lot of pee-pees coming out of those jeans, but what you gonna do?
Yeah, if you got a big
What you
dong,
gonna do?
it might come through the pants.
What you gonna do? It's a bug. Is it a bug?
I don't know. It's a bug. Or it might be a gift.
What y'all think out there? Is it a bug? Yeah.
All right, moving on. We're gonna cool
Are we?
things off.
Are we?
We're gonna cool things off. We're gonna move on to something that Tone is gonna be very excited to talk about.
Oh, ice cream. I like ice cream.
Let's talk Mandalorian.
Talk Mando.
Chapters 14 and 15. This Friday, the season finale.
Oh gosh.
We've had a lot of stuff happen in these last couple episodes. We've had some interesting developments. Tone, let's talk about 14 and 15, man. Get into it.
So, the big one that we're gonna start kicking into. So now, if you've not watched last two episodes,
yes, if you're one of those
spoiler
guys,
alert.
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't watched last two, mute it for a little bit. We're gonna get into that when this flips. We know
Get
we're
out
on
of
a
here,
new topic. Yep. Just mute it, Prime. Shut your mouth, you dum dum. All right. So, starting with 2 chapters back. Clearly, we're trying to get Grogu to a Tython. Tython, yes.
Yeah.
Tython to
The
commune.
temple.
Yes, to get to one of the old remnants of a Jedi temple and commune with some form of Jedi. Who we still won't know. We don't know. Whatever. This episode was
Thick
one
Boba.
exactly thick. This episode was one word for me personally as a Star Wars fan since I saw really Empire Strikes Back. This was vindication for me because for 30 fucking years I've had to deal with non-stop trolling about my favorite character of all of Star Wars, which is Boba Fett, because he's not around. He has 4 lines. Oh, he's supposed to be this great bounty hunter. He dies like a bitch. Wasn't all his fault, but whatever. This episode, of course, we saw him turn around in episode 1 in the sands with the gaffy stick on his back and the rifle and stuff like that. And we're like, oh, he clearly knows his armor. Somebody's got his armor.
Yep.
And they got right into this episode. Like, literally, you're watching this, and all of a sudden, the slave one just, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, they're just out with it. Just like the Ahsoka episode. Like, she was just like, hey, look, I got lightsabers. I'm hitting people. Like, they just, no even waste of time. Completely wild. Here it comes, just, woo, and I just went, holy
splooge
shit. Oh, absolutely. They have some banter. Boba's basically like, I want my fucking armor.
Did they have some babble?
They definitely had some babble. And he's like, well, you got to be Mandalorian to have the armor. He's like, well, that's my father's armor. I want my fucking armor. And then stuff happens. What do you figure? The remnants of the Empire, Moff Gideon's crew shows up. A bunch of stormtroopers. There's a brief moment where Boba goes, oh, look, nothing in the Razor Crest. No one's at the Razor Crest. I'm going to go get my armor. Gets his armor. Comes out. Now, first of all, the one and only Robert Rodriguez directed this episode.
That's amazing.
So when you were going to get to the action, you know it was going to be full torqued, like 6 to midnight, 2 seconds, right? Boba's got his armor on, his thick boy. He's got his little cape thing going on here.
He's thick boy.
He's been eating some bantha ass and getting that nice tasty dewback fucking wee-wee or something. He's got his armor on, and he just goes ham on everybody.
Yeah,
he comes out. Fenric is basically, she's kind of behind some rocks and stuff like that. She's sniping everybody, and he comes out and he just fucking whatever. And finally, we get to see, like, of all the cool things that he did, and clearly I missed this over the years somehow. Like, it's supposed to be a fan. Finally get to see knee rockets live action.
Yes.
Pop right out of his knee, just kind of bends his knee. Pew! Exactly. Yep. Somebody's got it out there. Half-ass beer review. Hey, what up?
Half-ass beer review, my man.
That's our boy right there. Guys, if you get a chance, check out Half-Ass Beer Review on YouTube.
YouTube, yes.
Doing videos a couple times a week, exploring brews locally, all over the country, the art, the smell. Little drink.
Check him out.
Big
He's
drink.
awesome. Check
him out. He's a great dude. Gave us a shout out recently. We appreciate you,
He's
dude.
a big fan of the peanut butter whiskey.
He does like the peanut butter whiskey. What's the who makes that? Skeet made it. So yes, the knee rockets, and then he manages to blow them up as they take away. Which
that was awesome.
It was a great episode. There wasn't a lot of like Easter eggy stuff going on in that episode necessarily, but it was a great episode. It was very action packed. We got Boba Fett not only back, but he's back as Boba Fett. And finally, clearly Dave Filoni, and this is what I keep saying, Dave Filoni was a fan of Boba Fett as well as a young Dave Filoni and wherever Dave Filoni comes from, because during the Clone Wars, Boba Fett as a young character after his father passed by losing his head to Mace Windu in the Geonosis arena, they fleshed him out a little bit with Bossk and Aurra Sing and all kinds of cool shit. So he's clearly a fan. And now we've got a show called Mandalorian, which not only did he really flesh out Mandalore and a lot of the characters in there, but it's all tying into this stuff. And it all started with Boba Fett, technically. And here we are with Mandalorian. So clearly he's a fan. So I think in my thought process is, and I hope someday he will answer this, is that in his heart was this vindication for him as well, too.
Right.
And it made us all feel, the Office Space reference was fucking awesome, actually. That was fantastic. But that was in the episode after, but yes.
Yep.
But it was a great episode. It was very action-packed. It was short again, but we got to see Boba come back and be Boba, and now he's got his armor. And we got to see there's 3 big things that happened. Well, no, that'd be the episode after. No, excuse me. No, just seeing him in general and him going, the Empire's back. We got the Dark Troopers in live action as well, too, outside of the pods. Dark Troopers have been now recanonized. Awesome. So that was that episode. It's a great episode. Very actiony again. Robert Rodriguez. So amazing that he got to direct an episode.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 15?
15. Yep.
15. So chapter 15.
This was a sweet episode.
After Boba pretty much says, hey, we didn't hold up our end of the bargain. We got to get your baby back. Cool. Let's go hang out and figure this out. Well, Mando's basically like, well, there's only one guy I know that I can use that can help me get into some data, blah, 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 to figure out where the kid's at. So he's like, all right, well, let's go break out this guy, Miggs. Miggs was played by Bill Burr in season 1, who is in my opinion, one of the top 3 living comedians that we have right now. Bill Burr is effing hilarious. Bill Burr plays his character Miggs. This episode was also not so super Easter eggy like a lot of the episodes have been and anything necessarily, but it was very, very, like the series, very grounded.
Yep.
It felt, as Cap said, very more like a Western. It felt very, what's the word? Familiar, maybe to a degree. Like, I mean, even the fight on top of the tank felt like
it was more grounded because it was the first time you saw the Mandalorian fighting without his armor, so he was taking a lot of damage. Like, he was more grounded. He didn't have his armor.
Right. Because a lot of times he walks in, he's like
he's
badass.
Wearing stormtrooper armor, so he's got no defense.
Right. It's not Beskar.
Like the lowest.
So,
it's the lowest rated RPG.
Miggs
armor.
Mayfield. Yep. Miggs is a great actor, and again, we're seeing, and we talked about this a couple times before. When you take these comedians, these funny guys, and put them in these roles, these dramatic or actiony roles, and then you start seeing like, whoa, holy shit, their chops are, because when you're a comedian, you got to perform. You're trying to draw people in on the fact that you're funny. That's harder than most stuff.
And see, for the most part of the episode too, he is playing like kind of comic relief. He's having some like zingers here and there, but
they're like dad jokes almost.
They're dad jokes and stuff. But then you kind of get to the scene where he really like takes over, and you're like, oh shit, this guy's actually got some fucking range.
There is a dialogue sequence that happens in the actual cockpit. I can't think of the name of the actual vehicle offhand, but we see renditions of him throughout, even actually in Revenge of the Sith, even too, during the Clone Wars. But they have a conversation back and forth with Mandalorian. Basically, he's telling Mando, like, you can't take off your helmet, because he takes off his helmet. He's got a stormtrooper helmet on. He's like, can't take it off. He's like, you know what? It doesn't matter if you're from Alderaan. Alderaan doesn't exist. Yep. Mandalore, it exists, but no one's there. He's like, everybody's got a different thing. They believe this, you believe this, or this perspective or whatever. He's like, but, at the end of the day, it don't fucking matter.
Right.
Like, the dialogue there, and that's a terrible way of trying to bring it around, but the dialogue was very, very, very awesome. Like, it was very, hey, what up, Mike?
Hey,
you better be watching.
Mike.
Get caught up. What are you doing? Yeah. Spoiler alert. It was like, of all the dialogue that happened in this series, and even just in Star Wars generally, this was one of those rare moments in time where like everything just kind of stopped.
The dialogue took precedence over like the action.
Yeah, and it was like, and when you stop and think about that, it translates. It's very existential. And it was really only like a blurb, like a minute, 30 seconds or whatever, but it was very, very good. And it really kind of set pace, because this episode is called The Believer.
Yep.
And at first glance, you're thinking maybe it's going to be about Miggs Mayfield, but it's not just about him. It's actually also about Mando himself.
Yep.
So First thing I want to point out about this episode, and coming back full circle, is that Boba Fett painted up his armor and looks very nice and shiny, and that was awesome.
He looked good. He looked good.
They've got to get some stuff transported. There's this Radium stuff that was canonized or started in like Clone Wars and Rebels as well too. There's these sweet fight scenes. They're once again trying to get to this Imperial location, and they got to kind of like smuggle themselves in, pretend they're stormtroopers. The big three things in this episode, and the first one that I noticed that was really exciting was the fact that they brought back shore troopers, which we saw in Rogue One, which was a new canonized trooper. Some call them Scarif troopers because they're in Scarif, but they're actually shore troopers. They wear the khakis. They got lighter, cooler looking. So because in hot, humid places, that's where they have to have like less of that. Like it's funny because you see like in a lot of stuff, you see the desert. You see the stormtroopers on their get up. Well, there's actually shore troopers who have like khakis and stuff like that can actually whatever. So yes, yeah, you're getting to it, El Blanco. That was the second big one. So you get into this installation. There's this great dialogue once you get in there that crazy happens. They're sitting at this. There's an Imperial officer in there,
played by Richard Brake, who is fucking awesome.
Get into that for a minute. So I want to try to drink of this.
Oh, there you go. Richard Brake is fucking awesome.
He's a great actor. He recently, one of the big things he played was the Night King in Game of Thrones. So they're sitting there having a dialogue, very Inglourious Bastards-esque.
Very.
And then Miggs drops this is the second big thing of the episode for a super fan like me. Miggs says Operation Cinder. What makes that a big deal is because with under Disney's canon, now everything is tied into each other. Comic books, cartoons, movies, and more importantly, video games. Operation Cinder, if you had not played Battlefront 2, Operation Cinder is a central piece to that storyline. Operation Cinder was basically like these satellite things that would come to a planet and would just fucking torch the planet. Just fucking burn, all that good stuff. So it's a direct tie-in to the actual video game, which is really, really, really fucking cool. Basically, Palpatine, after he had a plan. If he died, he had a contingency plan, and this was part of it. So Operation Cinder, very, very cool to that. Yep. They talk about that for a minute. All hell breaks loose right after that, and they've got to escape, right? Typical shit. Smuggle in, escape, blah, blah, blah. Gets crazy. Question, why do stormtroopers wear armor? One hit with a blaster, because it takes maybe half a blaster hit, and then it's falling off, so it saves for a minute, I guess. They escape. Slave 1 comes to save him. Boba's in the ship. And the third big thing of this episode that got all fanboys like myself excited is for the first time since Attack of the Clones, when he's flying away and the TIE fighters come out, he drops a motherfucking seismic charge. And there's that drops, and then that just kind of like pause, like the calm before the storm was here. And it just fucking obliterates these TIE fighters. Oh, it was so fucking cool to see that. That was so hype. It was that episode, while it had kind of that feeling of the one that happened. I want to say it's episode 3 with Grief Karga and what's her face when they go to the Imperial installation. They're flying on the trench. It felt very similar to that. It was a very like side character episode. It was very westerny and sort of stuff like that. It felt very Ponderosa-ish or whatever you want to say. This episode was not only that, but you got some real thick existential dialogue and some character growth in 40 some minutes. Because Mando does something that he says he's not gonna do, and you have to watch it to see.
That was
crazy.
He
does it, and it's crazy.
I was sitting when it came to that. I was like, he's gonna. I was looking at most of it, like he's gonna do it.
Well,
it's gonna happen right now.
There's some things outside of that goes outside of the show that apparently Pedro Pascal has had some issues with, and they said, well, hey man, we zeros in that check. That was part of the deal. So I'm wondering if this is part of some of that. If we're going to see that, yes,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, he's pretty antsy about that. So, but the fact that we got some 3 awesome fanboy stuff, at least for me, and the fact that let's see that
Cuddles comes in with just the
can't believe
good shit.
Teabagged Baby Yoda. Yes. At the end, Mando brought it full circle and hopped on the HoloNet and told
Blanco said he shot that down.
Boba, what's that?
Blanco said he shot that down. Whatever.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Clearly, since that was a thing, I still kind of wonder.
Look at him.
Disney's paying out your checks too.
Sounds like you need a cigarette after watching that episode.
Yeah, I know. And it's funny too because
that tissue.
this wasn't an episode that had like any huge Easter eggs necessarily. They didn't have any like callbacks to new characters or like old characters. Like the last two were pretty like for the most part just like plain and simple, except for the Boba one was like, hey, Boba's back and being a badass finally, and we get to see a live action. This episode was just it's what makes you appreciate the work that guys like John and Dave do, because they really, really bring this real heart and soul to the actual galaxy in a far, far away. And so, in that dialogue, man, I can't.
You talk about the stuff that you've enjoyed about this series, and as a hardcore Star Wars fan, you get a lot of the Easter eggs, you get a lot of the little nods and stuff like that. And I love movies and I love TV shows and I love watching actors flourish and I love watching great performances and stuff. And, in the way that they utilize certain actors, like we saw Michael Biehn show up in the previous episode to kind of add his type of flavor to a character that you would expect from Michael Biehn. And then you see Bill Burr get to flex his acting job. Dude, that scene with Bill Burr and Richard Brake was fucking awesome. It was intense.
It was so
good. It was emotional. And it's probably the best acting interactions that we've seen, in my opinion, this season. I mean, the show's been a lot of action. There's been a lot of cool moments.
Right.
But for pure acting.
Yes.
For pure acting and tension, that conversation between him and Richard Brake and Bill Burr was fucking fantastic. I watched that in awe. I'm watching like, man, we're starting to see, while Richard Brake and Bill Burr aren't heavyweights in the acting world, you're seeing heavyweight performances from people you wouldn't expect them from.
Dude, Bill Burr came in the first season. He was kind of the comedic relief.
Yeah, exactly.
Half taking it seriously. In this episode, he busts out his chops, man.
Yeah,
and he's doing some acting shit, it's like, and you can see the look on his face, like he's just kind of like back there, and he's wearing it on his face. I could see, if you watch that scene, you see that rising like to a fucking boiling point.
You're watching two guys go two different directions. I mean,
right?
The Imperial officer, he's
having a good time.
He's loving
man
it.
of history. You're talking about,
and you got Bill Burr, who's at the opposite end.
Clearly lost somebody close to him, or just saw something horrific.
Just incredible.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yo, Brian MX, what's going on, baby?
Yeah,
oh, man.
Definitely video game feels panic. Definitely not only video game feels, but like those actiony Western feels. Like, man, I just the last two episodes. It's funny because the one before these two was Ahsoka coming back, and that was like that fanboy dream for me. And that Dave directed that, and he wrote that, and it was a callback to Kurosawa films and Westerny. And then you get these two episodes after, and this is again come to how it's episodic and makes you feel that cartoon, and they just go other directions with them.
Yeah.
You get this crazy action one with Robert Rodriguez that fucking recanonizes Boba Fett as this motherfucking badass, and then the one after you're stopping thinking, well, fucking, how am I living my life after Bill Burr just told me? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like what the fuck? Like it's wild. And honestly, the finale this week is I'm probably gonna cry because it's just gonna be done for another year.
Yeah, this will be the final episode this Friday. We'll be talking about this and a lot of other stuff when we return on January 6th. But let's move on to the next topic. We've got a couple more things we still want to talk about.
Actually, guess what?
Are you serious?
It might be time.
God, you're a fucking you pissed 3 times before we went live, dude.
It was twice.
God, you're fucking lame.
It was twice.
All right, guys. I put something together for Tone for this moment, so we'll be right back. Tone's got to go pee. All right. And we're back. Now that Tone is done going tinkle. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I feel it's like a little bit better, a little bit more entertaining. Gives everybody an opportunity to go get something to drink, go to the tinkle themselves, whatever you got to do. I only want to hear this music when taking a piss from now on.
The beer is tasty.
It was, yeah,
Thank
mine's
you,
all gone.
Kronos.
Mine's all gone, Kronos.
Appreciate you.
Mine
Would you grab a beer?
I went and grabbed another one of these.
Oh.
Yeah. I needed the Roke Brewing Company.
Oh yeah, that
caramel
Roek.
apple sour ale.
It is such a good sour.
I'm gonna treat myself to the one that you put that's still in the fridge, the one that half-ass beer review did.
Mm-hmm. That big luscious.
Yeah. I'm gonna save that one for after the show. But all right. Next topic of discussion. We're gonna talk a little bit about the Walt Disney Company Investor Day because there were some pretty big reveals, a lot of big news. We're going to talk more or less about the Star Wars stuff because a lot of the stuff they touched on in the MCU, just kind of reaffirming things that we already knew. But we will touch a little bit on Spider-Man, which is fucking turning out to be absolutely fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
Bonkers. So, first thing we're going to touch on, the Walt Disney Company Investor Day, where they talked about kind of like everything that they got planned for Star Wars and MCU going forward. Give you a good look at what's going on. I am with Cuddles. Where the fuck are Mighty Ducks, dude?
Where's some Mighty Ducks?
I know Emilio Estevez ain't doing shit. So
No,
somebody get Gordon back on the ring and let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
We need a Mighty Ducks series now.
The Mighty Duck man himself.
Gordon, what was his last name? Gordon Light or Gordon?
Not Lightfoot. He's a singer.
He's a singer. Was it Gordon? Gordon.
How?
I was gonna call him Gordon. Willow's coming back. I am pumped about Willow.
That is a good point.
Is it Warwick Davis?
Yeah.
I'm assuming not Val Kilmer.
Mad Monaghan.
Mad Monaghan. And what's old boy? The comedian that plays
Kevin Pollak.
Kevin Pollak.
Kevin Pollak's a little rat guy.
There you go. Gordon Bombay.
Yeah.
Mystic Mike knows. You guys check out Mystic Mike. He's on
being
Facebook
rebooted.
Gaming. Awesome streamer.
Yes.
He's amazing. Check him out. He's a good dude. And
Facebook
as
Gaming.
you know, when we play the show live, the opening and closing beats,
Anthouse
beats,
Check
check
'em
him out.
Spotify,
iTunes, fucking everywhere. Listen to his music. I'll actually be streaming his music Friday night for the Rage stream. That's the only thing that keeps me from losing my
Nothing
shit.
keeps you from losing your
Dude,
shit. Shut the
Anthouse
fuck
beats,
up.
Come on, those beats keep me chill slightly.
No.
Slightly.
You're a liar.
Slightly. All right. We're going to hit on the Star Wars stuff because we got a ton of shit.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Ton of shit announced for the Star Wars brand. Let's take a look at this right now. Tone, we have, as you can see, an assortment of shows that are now lined up. We got a bunch of shows and a movie.
In a movie. Yep.
And a movie. But we're going to start at the top. Obviously, Mandalorian will continue.
Right.
We're going to have another season of Mandalorian. But let's start off first, man. Break this down for me. Rangers of the New Republic.
Basically, post Return of the Jedi, which also will coincide a little bit the timeline or time frame, maybe a crossover with Mandalorian. After the crumbles of the Empire, the Rangers of the what is that again? Rangers, I can't see that now.
Rangers of the New Republic.
New Republic. Yeah, they're basically
he pissed his vision away.
Right, I did. Basically, how it's going to work is they're going to have people that are going to go out there and try and bring people in under the fold of the New Republic, try to be cohesive and clean up the damage that the Empire had done. So it's going to be probably very frontier and adventurous in some way, but right after the Galactic Civil War. So who knows what we'll see. Probably more blasters and less lightsabers. Who knows? Like, of course, at this point, you can see a lightsaber somewhere, but that's pretty cool. I like that time frame and concept of that sort of process. You know, not your typical kind of Star Wars content.
Right. Awesome. Obviously, Ahsoka was announced. We know Rosario Dawson is going to play Ahsoka. She's going to get her own show.
Awesome.
So we're really going to kind of explore that. That's awesome. Star Wars Andor.
So Cassian Andor was one of the main characters in Rogue One, if y'all remember.
Yes.
This is going to be the building block. This will be pre-Rogue One, clearly, and showing what it's like for him and those to build the rebellion, either starting the rebellion or the rebellion's already been started. But it will also show that, as always, Drastin, do not forget that the rebellion and the rebels also, in the time of war, were a little shady.
They reduced to some shady tactics, and that's one of the things they kind of explored at the beginning of Rogue One. Is like, you know, when they had the informant they were meeting, it was like unpopular opinion. Oh my God, she's coming out hard.
I don't
tonight.
know what she's doing tonight. Maybe she's
Rosario
drinking.
Dawson was an okay
Maybe she's
Ahsoka.
drinking.
Maybe she is drinking. Are you drinking? I thought she was a pretty dope Ahsoka, but hey, she is proven to have. She's a very strong, confident person, and she you know, I respect her opinion. McGregor, you can swing as much as you want.
Yeah.
In here with your opinions. Swing away, girl.
That's right.
I dig it. But you talked about that at the very beginning of Rogue One. You know, you kind of see the shady tactics employed by the rebellion, and I really hope that's, you know, if this is the story on building that rebellion, maybe we're gonna see again, kind of like, you know, I don't want to bring it up because it's not apples to apples, but The Last of Us 2, a lot of gray area.
Yeah, no, I think
the rebellion's always been this. Oh, we're so good, and we're so good. You have to, you know, what do they say? You have to break a couple eggs to make an omelet.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree.
So I'm down to see that, man. I like when they explore those little intricacies, those little things, you know, that kind of fleshes out. It's just not good and bad.
And that actor actually, in the when you're at the Disney Springs in Orlando, when you do the Void VR chest plate and helmet like thing, that actor comes back and plays Cassian Andor, kind of pre-Rogue One as a character. So you knew they were going to invest in that character. They wanted him to be kind of part of this for a minute. So that was kind of cool too. Just like Lando was in, you know, that one ride. We'll talk about that in a minute. So
talk about that in a second. The other big announcement is obviously the Obi-Wan Kenobi. We've known that this was in the works. It's filming now, but
yeah, some crazy news out of that one.
Hayden Christensen
is reprising his role as Darth Vader.
Coming back as Darth Vader. Now, look, watching the prequels, I actually liked him in Revenge of the Sith. I thought he was really good at it because I felt like it was the episode where that allowed him to kind of break into maybe he's better with anger than he is with kind of like a more reserved performance.
Sure.
But I thought he was really, really good in Revenge of the Sith. I was like, man, this is his best performance as Darth Vader, and now they're bringing him back. But terrible. When I seen they were bringing back, I'm like, that's fucking dope. That's awesome.
Kind of hype after everything that the sequel trilogy did or didn't do for people. To be able to bring some form of like constant or positive to the forefront, regardless of what people think about Hayden Christensen, it is pretty cool to see him come back and reprise that role and be involved again. Because after that, he hasn't had anything but Jumper, maybe, and that one other movie. So
I think he's actually in a Bruce Willis joint.
Yeah, maybe.
I think he did one of those Netflix Bruce Willis. I can't.
He's working for Big Mac coupons somewhere.
The next one we're going to talk about, and it's the same thing with Ann House Beats. When I saw Bad Batch, I didn't see Bad Batch. As I'm going through the list, I was like, does that say Bad Bitch?
I know, everybody's doing the Bad Bitch thing. I'm like, maybe. I don't know.
But what do we got for Bad Batch?
So Bad Batch is actually based off a squad in season 7 of Clone Wars that dropped this spring.
Sounds awesome. I'm excited about this one.
Bad Batch is basically a very over-characterized version of like Rambo, Terminator, or Commando, like characters from the 80s. They're based off like action flick characters from the 80s. The premise basically is that Bad Batch are a defective sort of Bad Batch of clones, and instead of like terminating them, they found them a purpose. And here they are. They're like It's almost kind of like a crazy Navy SEALs. Like the Navy SEAls are always the first ones in, the last ones out kind of thing.
Right.
And that's kind of how these guys are. Like one guy's a sniper, the one guy kind of looks like Rambo, one guy's missing an eye. You got like you big
Your
Bowie
quintessential
knives.
80s bad guy.
Right. So like it's going to be a cartoon as well too, and it's going to be a hit on
awesome.
Disney Plus this spring. I'm very excited about that because when a lot of us were watching season 7, like Rohit and some of us were watching this, and Drastin and all the boys were like, "Yo, that was fucking dope!" Like that was campy as fuck because the characters, even the wife, like when we're watching this, we're like, they're over characterizing this shit and it's campy as fuck, but it fucking works.
Right.
And now they're giving them a fucking series. That's fucking sweet. Yeah, and like an A-Team. There you go.
There you go.
go.
A-Team. That's
There
a great comparison. It sounds like just like the Dirty Dozen, or just like or even Suicide Squad. Just a bunch of idiots you bring together and say, hey, look, make a story of it. Star Wars Visions.
That is an anime take on. I think. We don't know if it's going to be like new characters or old characters, but it's an Eastern take on Star Wars. They're going to be animated and they're going to be in more of that anime-esque animation.
Okay.
So
an anime style Star Wars show.
Right. So who knows that? That's exciting for me as somebody who's a big fan of anime. Like, will they be English? Will it be sub-dub? We don't know, but. That's the direction they're going with that one, so that's pretty exciting.
Not to get off topic, but when's the next season of that Transformers anime supposed to drop? Is that supposed
That's a great fucking question. I
don't
know.
That first season was fucking
Siege.
Dope, man.
I want some more
Siege.
Siege.
Was fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Lando, obviously, this is about a boy.
So it is about a boy. Lando. My guess is gonna. I would guess it's gonna take place after Solo originally, but what it sounds more like is that it's going to be an exploratory series of some of the things that character did. So that means, and I don't know it's been confirmed, Childish Gambino, a.k.a. Donald Glover, a.k.a. Troy from Community, hopefully will reprise his role, and maybe we'll get Billy D. Williams.
See, I like the idea because we understand that this is kind of like a one-off series. This is just going to be like kind of something for them to explore. And you mentioned a cool concept would be like if Billy D. Williams is sitting around at a bar somewhere and he's kind of like telling a story.
Because he's always doing that in Solo.
He's always got stories to tell.
Right. So like, what if it's like that young, what would I say, like what was the analogy I gave? Like, young Indiana Jones or whatever like that?
Yep.
Like an old Lando sitting around telling tales, and it's just flashbacks of like Donald Glover doing his Lando.
That would be fucking. I think
AKA
that would
Miles
be perfect.
Morales. Well, kind of, yeah.
I think that'd be dope if they did something like that, because that way you give both. Because I mean, honestly, man, obviously Billy D. Williams is a fucking legend.
Yeah,
he's an amazing Lando. Donald Glover's Lando was really good. Like Donald Glover's just
it's one of the central points of that fucking movie. For me.
Oh, absolutely,
hands down.
Absolutely.
Hands fucking
so
down.
It'd be cool if they could somehow get them both. And that kind of has to tell you what they're doing, man, because that's in general. We'll talk a little bit about with the MCU as well. Disney is really reaching out going, hey, look, we want you to be a part of this. Whether you were in the old stuff from many, many moons ago, going forward, we want to make sure we have the central pieces of those movies or those shows and have them be a part of this, because there's the connection, the nostalgia. You are the dude. Seriously, Billy D. Williams is Lando Calrissian.
Absolutely. Oh, and like I said, like they brought him back to do to redo the ride in Hollywood Studios down there in Disney. I can't think the Star Tours. Jesus. They've updated every so often. Well, now it's like takes place during Rise of Skywalker, and Billy D. Williams there's Lando, and he's talking to you, and that was really cool. So yeah, it's exciting to see that. Hopefully, and I'm guessing they're learning from the sequel trilogy about bringing back these old characters and not wasting them and upsetting everybody. So hopefully, this is a Disney thing going forward. So pretty cool.
Acolyte, Star Wars Acolyte.
So Acolyte takes place. So we talked about this earlier in the year. They announced they're going to do these books called the High Republic, which takes place roughly. I want to say 600 years, 400 years maybe before Phantom Menace-ish, during that peak of that current Republic. Acolyte is supposed to take place kind of towards the end of that, maybe transitioning into that.
Sure.
There are rumors, and none of this is confirmed, that no Star Trek yet. Or at least maybe people want or hope, but this has something to do with Darth Plagueis and Emperor, a.k.a. Sheev Palpatine. Maybe he's the Acolyte. So, yeah, like a younger version of Vin. Yeah. Revan is the Acolyte. Blanco.
Do I have to put Blanco in timeout?
He just, like, everything. Like I want Revan back too. Trust me.
We all want Revan back, baby.
Just come on, baby.
We all want him back, man.
Come on, baby boy, just chill.
Star Wars, a droid story. Clearly, it's about
So C-3PO and R2-D2 are kind of ushering in some droid. If you guys remember the old Droids cartoon in the 80s, I feel like this is going to be a very episodic, almost anime. I think it's animated, clearly.
Yep.
Like kind of that cartoony-esque of that. Like, they were just going around doing adventures. The droids. Gamorreans are driving convertibles, and hopefully we'll have a new cereal. So that's what we're looking forward to. If anybody remembers the droids. I know
my son will be all over that cereal.
Yeah, the
man.
droid
he
cereal.
Loves that cereal.
I was a big fan.
And lastly, we got Star Wars Rogue Squadron. This is the movie.
So this is really exciting.
Directed by Patty Jenkins of Wonder Woman.
Yes, and by the way, Wonder Woman 1984 is getting really good reviews.
Dude, 89% of Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Day, I know what I'm watching.
Oh, I'll be all over that.
Yep.
Wonder Woman is reviewing, and a lot of praise for Pedro Pascal and Kristen Wiig.
I saw that.
Yep,
actually.
A lot of praise for them. 89% of Rotten Tomatoes. It's supposed to be like, a lot of them say this is like the type of movie we need for the end of 2020, something to kind of get people's hopes up.
So I'm very
excited. So December 25th, Wonder Woman 1984. Is that what it is? Wonder Woman 84?
Yeah.
Yep. Will be available on HBO Max and in theaters if you want to brave it. But Christmas Day, yes, Wonder Woman, absolutely.
After Letterkenny. Letterkenny drops that day too, King. You're right.
Oh,
good boy. Good boy. Good point out.
Good boy, Kenny.
Yeah, so Rogue Squadron is actually the only movie up here. Patty Jenkins, yes, from the first Wonder Woman is directing. Now, I just want to talk about how they started this promo out. It shows her like rollerblading, basically. She gets to her car. She's in an airfield. She's talking about growing up being like the daughter of an Air Force pilot, growing up in the airfield. And she sits on the trunk. She's changing her blades out, and she's talking about how much this project she's working on has a lot to do with like personally for her. And she puts on a X-wing pilot helmet.
Yeah.
And I get goosebumps every time I think about it. It was really, really cool. And she walks over to what is an X-wing sitting on the airfield. So she is very passionate, apparently, about having to do this movie, Rogue Squadron. Now, we don't know. Rogue Squadron which actually started after A New Hope at the Battle of Yavin, and it was created by Luke Skywalker and Wedge Antilles, and they were doing some exploits trying to get out there and kind of like surgically F with the Empire. So we don't know if this is that time frame. I'm going to guess it's not. My guess is this is a rehash of Rogue Squadron post Return of the Jedi in a time frame.
Some speculation this won't have anything to do with the Skywalker saga.
So yeah, that's why I'm thinking it's going to be after Jedi. They're going to rehash Rogue Squadron during New Republic, and we're going to get to see some of their exploits. What would be very cool, and this probably won't happen. Never mind, he's dead. But what would be cool is actually Poe Dameron's parents were supposed to be ace pilots as well too.
Oh,
and
really?
I don't know if the time frame would work out really well with that. But it would be really kind of cool if his parents were part of this Rogue Squadron after Jedi. That would be really fucking neat.
Awesome.
I'd be cool with that because Poe was cool.
So, Tone, gun to your head.
Yes.
Out of everything we've seen on this list here,
yep.
What makes your pants tight?
That's easy. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Having Ewan McGregor back finally as Obi-Wan, and even Hayden Christensen coming back. As excited as I am about Ahsoka and Andor, and clearly keep going on with The Mandalorian, definitely number one up there is Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm very, very excited about that.
Chat, what do you guys think? I mean, you look at everything here. I know there's a lot of Star Wars fans out there. What stands out to you guys and girls? What are you hoping to see? What are you looking forward to the most on this list? You want to get your thoughts. For myself, I'm going to go with you. I'm going to say it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I am super interested in Bad Batch. I am really intrigued by that idea.
You have to take some time over this next few weeks, and you gotta watch, even if you just watch like the last couple seasons of Clone Wars.
Taika Waititi, what is he directing? What is he?
Taika Waititi. I don't think. They haven't actually announced exactly what he's doing. He's
just involved in a project.
He's in some project.
Okay.
They didn't get too deep into movies and big projects like that because Disney Plus is so hot right now, and I got a feeling going forward, if the first ones are going to jump off going to theaters, I think this is what all Disney's content, like Arkenrath said it this week, all this content is straight back into their own pocketbook. If they can get more subscribers.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep.
Disney Plus is out of control right now.
Good.
Disney Plus is out of control.
This is what everybody wanted, but, we only got Mando for the first year. And I'm telling you, there's some extra content we're going to get into here in a moment, and some outside of that as well, too. There's more out there that people need to explore, so.
All they showed was a stone type Star Wars title when he was mentioned. Okay, all right. So we don't have a whole lot to go on with that, but looks like Tricky's excited for Ahsoka. Megara is pumped for Kenobi for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Kenobi looks dope. Obviously, with the acting prowess there, and then you've got Bad Batch, which sounds awesome. And if they can get Donald Glover and or Billy D. Williams in for Lando, I'll be down for that as well. That's
I agree.
Which
one
totally
has
which
Picard
one
in it?
has
Oh,
Picard?
you got jokes too out there.
Oh, we got
Picard
jokes.
is actually on the CBS trashy app. You can check that along with Star Trek Discovery. Both great shows. Highly recommend them if you have not seen them.
Jeez.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there.
All right, so moving on from Star Wars, obviously we touched on some MCU stuff. Obviously a lot of the stuff that they touched on is stuff we already kind of knew about,
Right.
reaffirmed things. We saw a couple of things on here. Obviously Captain Marvel 2, Brie Larson is coming
She's
back
reprising her
despite
role,
some
despite people being salty.
Yeah, there were some stories going around that
Mm-hmm.
that she was not going to be brought back. WandaVision drops next month. That'll be out in January. You're excited about that because of
That's
the tie-ins.
probably that's one of the two top ones up there that I'm most excited for.
What's the other one you're most excited for?
Doctor Strange, and I'll talk about why.
Oh, well, tell us why.
Okay, so WandaVision, the big thing that's make that exciting is that WandaVision is actually going to tie right in directly. Like, apparently, if you see Doctor Strange, you're going to miss out on some stuff because Wanda plays a big part in that as well, too. Wanda is going to help set up not only her transition into the actual character she is more in the comic books and how powerful she is and can bend and change reality, but she's going to tie in with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and what exactly... Now, the reason I'm excited about that because I love Sam Raimi, and he is back directing a Marvel film, so that's very hype for me.
That's awesome.
So he's going to be back doing that, and in Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, they're going to tie into each other, and I think this is going to be the true door that really, really ends up opening up the multiverse, and more importantly, in a moment, we'll talk about maybe the Spider-Verse. So those two are really, really the big hot ones for me personally. I'm excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier because I love Sebastian. I think Sebastian Stan is awesome. Black Widow, I've been waiting on for a long time. I'm excited about that. I'm so excited. I think that movie is going to be
obviously
awesome.
Scarlett Johansson's awesome, but the girl's name, and it escapes me at the moment, who plays her sister.
Yeah.
She is such a good actress. She was amazing in oh gosh, what was the movie? Midsummer. She's absolutely amazing in Midsummer. And she's an incredibly talented actress. I'm really excited to see that because it poses, and then you got David Harbour in it. I mean, you got Black Widow looks fucking dope.
As somebody who likes rogues in a lot of games and D&D and like espionage stuff, that an actiony like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I saw that trailer, it reminded me a little bit of Captain America Winter Soldier. Like you said, that espionage, spy thriller.
Yeah.
And which I think was arguably the best Captain America movie. I love Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier was fucking
It is
incredible.
debatably my favorite MCU movie
It's
still.
really good.
Yeah,
I
love
really
Winter
good.
Soldier.
And those are the vibes that I get when I see the Black Widow trailer.
Loki looked really great. We got a great trailer. That Tom Hiddleston, outside of just being Loki for the record, is an amazing human. Like when he's on like shows like what's it, Graham Norton and shit like that. Like the dude is like flamboyant as hell. I love him.
He was so good in Kong Skull Island too.
He was. He's a fantastic actor. That's really going to also open up, I think, a lot of doors as well too. That will kind of also maybe tie into some of the stuff going on with longevity of the series. So there's actually been some interesting theories on that one as well too.
Mm-hmm.
The what if is cool. That's basically saying like, what if instead of Steve Rogers getting the serum for Super Soldier, what if Agent Carter did? What if she got it and she's now basically like Captain Britain, but like a super soldier or whatever? So I love those stuff. Those have been around for a long time in comics. Matter of fact, the DC had some as well too. So I really love that stuff. Shang-Chi and the rings there. Since Iron Fist didn't go over too well, hopefully they can fix it with some of Shang-Chi. I'm excited about that because it's a character I don't know a whole lot about. Mm-hmm. And I love martial arts films, and it sounds like it's gonna be like that. And I think just like how Guardians of the Galaxy was like something people didn't expect to be good and was great, like taking these side characters
under the radar,
taking these underrated characters that don't have a lot of like mainstream appeal and giving them that, sometimes ends up being like gold.
Just lightning in a bottle that you wouldn't expect.
Miss Marvel, which we've gotten a little bit more familiar with for a lot of folks out there because of the Marvel Avengers game.
She's so good, dude.
Yep. And so that she's sometimes the polarizing character for folks, but just generally overall, it's a very modern character. It's a very good character. We should have that out there. So that's really cool. I really like her background and stuff like that too. Captain Marvel 2 a lot. Hey, I had no problems with the first Captain Marvel. I know some folks did. Doesn't bother me. I like Brie Larson just fine.
I think Brie Larson's awesome. I think Brie Larson's a great actor.
Cool.
Now, if there's something going on
character's
on set,
cool.
If there's something going on set that was causing those stories to go around, that's whatever. I don't know her in person, but overall, I thought it was great.
Everybody out there is like completely bonered out for Tom Hiddleston. Look at all that. Everybody's like, Tom Hiddleston. Yeah,
everyone wants to have sex with Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah. I mean, if
I can't,
just saying, I'm just chilling right
that
now.
Accent,
Whatever.
If I had a couple drinks, who knows? Who knows?
Eternals is going to be a very, very like deep dive into the deep lore generally of all of the MCU, so I'm really excited about that.
Sure,
that's going to tie in some stuff from like way back. Matter of fact, that we might see Thanos again in that too, because technically Thanos is the son of Eternals.
Wow, Cuddles and Brian just putting it out there right now.
Wow, jeez, oh Pete. Wow, dang, like look at you. All right.
Oh my Lanta. Okay.
Well. Hawkeye. That's cool because he's basically training Kate Bishop, who he also just got in Marvel's Avengers,
which is reviewing incredibly well. Kate Bishop sounds like an awesome character. I'm downloading that shit this weekend.
Like I said, I did Mission 1, man. If you want to play some more, dude,
I'm down for
I played in performance mode, and it was running awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah, it does.
On PS5.
And then She-Hulk. Anytime I see Hulk, I get excited. That's exciting. We got an actress tied to who's playing She-Hulk. What's her name?
Tatiana Maslany? Lonnie?
Careful what name you get close. Hey,
I'm just saying what I'm trying to say here.
I'm just saying. So that's exciting. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming. D+ is about to blow up.
Yep.
Last thing I'm going to say about that, between Star Wars and Marvel, there's some golden stuff out there. If you guys have not yet watched the Jeff Goldblum show, I can't think of his name, whatever, with Jeff Goldblum on Disney+, please do. It's amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, entering the ring.
There's a shirt here.
Oh, there it is.
We know. Hey, listen. Just because you aren't right now, but you are still my Flex Division champion. You are still
the Flex Division champion.
My Flex Division champion.
Yeah, my man.
Raju Zane.
I was gonna wear that too, but I was like, I'm not gonna be Twinkies. I'm going with my boy.
I told him he should have wore the same fucking shirt.
I'm going with some Jake something.
I know.
Now Jake's going solo. Let's go.
Yeah, it's time.
Let's fucking go with Jake something, please.
Let's time to see some shit on Impact.
Let's go, dude.
That's right.
Let's go.
Plug that new shit. I'm plugging all this shit all day. Don't forget ProWrestlingTees.com. Check out, search for Rohit Raju, Jake something. Get you a tee. Support our friends. Let's go. Impact Wrestling crossing over with AEW now. It's a crazy world we live in right now.
Really got into the Star Wars chat.
Yeah, you would have. You missed all that fucking shit.
Last thing we want to talk about, though, we got to talk about what's going on with Spider-Man.
So this is fucking
some mass. Dude,
wild shit.
These are developments that started a while back when they mentioned, hey, look, they're bringing back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Which that was like a lot of us are just like circle jerking about it.
Like
we're like,
cool,
this will be really cool, live action Spider-Verse.
But in the last week, we have now confirmed Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, will be returning for Spider-Man 3.
What?
Kirsten Dunst and Emma Stone returning for Spider-Man 3. Willem Dafoe and Thomas Hayden Church confirmed coming back to Spider-Man 3.
What?
Now, here's the crazy one, dude, because this might lead to the one that I really want to see, just because of the actor. I've never seen the show, but I love the actor. Rumored, Charlie Cox will be reprising his role as Daredevil.
What?
In Spider-Man 3.
What?
Rumors.
Somebody better call my mama.
And I mean a lot of rumors going around with Charlie Cox. And if you're bringing back Charlie Cox as Daredevil, you fucking better bring back Vincent D'Onofrio's Wilson Fisk.
Because of all those people, I can tell you 2 people on that list that you just named, and it was the last 2 who have been fighting everybody to keep their roles as those characters, and it's definitely... Actually, Charlie, I don't know how loud he's been doing it. He's definitely done it some. Vincent, like, every couple weeks on Twitter will fucking say, sign the petition, Get me to be Kingpin.
I love, dude. Seriously, obviously, and I told you this, and I feel bad about it. And then Chad gave me shit last time we talked about this. I have not seen Daredevil, but I am such a huge fan. I know he's getting away from the gunshot. It's about to happen. I'm a huge fan of Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, he's great.
The guy is an incredible talent. Everything from Full Metal Jacket to even Men in Black, where he's like sugar water. He was the alien.
Yeah, I always forget he plays Edgar in that.
He's
fucking
Edgar.
movie.
Yeah, he's wearing the Edgar suit.
I mean,
he's an incredible actor. Thank you so much, Mystic. Appreciate
you,
bro.
Mike, buddy.
Appreciate you, buddy. But huge fan of Vincent D'Onofrio. And I mean, honestly, if you're getting Charlie Cox, if you're bringing him back reportedly, there's no way, right? There's no way. It has to be Vincent D'Onofrio because it's an acclaimed role. And,
absolutely.
Oh man. Whoa.
Oh, holy shit.
Oh. What the hell?
Thanks, y'all. Damn, somebody just dropped. Eat.
Oh my god. You guys.
Happened.
Holy shit.
Oh shit. We can't even, like, there's so much there.
I can't even keep track. I don't even know what's going on, but
thank you for those subs. I think those were those gifted? Oh yeah, Mike. Oh dude,
Jesus,
man.
dude.
I love that guy. Dude, thank you. As always, thank you so much, everybody, for your constant support. Thank you for those 20 subs, brother. Hey, again, okay. I gotta compose myself.
Man.
You all, if you have not taken the time, I honestly, very bluntly, I only watch a couple folks on Facebook Gaming, literally 2. He is one of the 2. I try to stop in there when I can every week. Mike came from Mixer. He was a partner streamer there, went to Twitch, found his home over Facebook. Mike is a very, very, very clearly great guy. He is a very chill, fun, funny. You have to hang out with him some night. He's fun and just chill. He lullabies me to sleep some nights because I'm up late watching him, but I love stopping to see him. And he's definitely seems to, yes, he's definitely sus. Don't let him fool you. Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate that, man. That means a lot to us. Again, if you guys ever get a chance to support him, he's a fantastic streamer on Facebook Gaming. Check him out, Mystic Mike Live. Thank you so much for your support on that. You've all been really great to us this entire year. Not to try and bust it through all. I know we're talking about other stuff, but thank you for that. That's very kind of you, sir.
And he said, I want to see Fanboy cry. I already seen Dude crying Among Us. Dude, there was one time where I'm sitting there. I think I was King. I want to say I was in the administration office, an admin. And I'm like, oh, there's Mystic Mike. He wouldn't do anything. And I think I was in medical. And my head just gets chopped off. And I'm like, that son of a bitch. The one guy I felt the safest was in the room was Mystic Mike. And he runs up and he cuts my fucking head off, dude.
Right. God.
That Mike, seriously, thank you, dude. That is incredibly kind, and we really, really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. It's very sweet. Thank you. Fuck, I got lost. We were talking about Spider-Man. So yeah, obviously we see all these characters coming back from previous Spider-Mans, and this ties into your theory that your thoughts that look, this is the Spider-Verse. They're bringing everything back. Now, what does that mean, though, dude? I mean, and I think Prime and you were talking about something that somebody suggested the Sinister Six.
Prime. So my theories have always been that it starts with WandaVision. You get into Doctor Strange. And now you've opened up it really actually started with Endgame with being able to go to jumping around in time. And the Ancient One talks about the different divergences those take,
right?
Which in that essence kind of creates different dimensions, multiverses, whatever. Because all of that stuff is bigger than, I guess maybe you can say Ant-Man. Like there's so much stuff that you can grow from this,
right?
And Wanda is super powerful. She can bend and change reality, and then you got Doctor Strange who can travel and do all kinds of shit and jump wherever he wants to. So. We got a couple years ago, if you've never seen it, Into the Spider-Verse, Sony's cartoon with Miles and all that stuff. He's a central character in this. It's an amazing fucking cartoon, for one. But in the comics, the Spider-Verse shit is fucking wild as well, too. This could be the slow stepping stones for Spider-Man 3 to be something involving the Spider-Verse. But not just the Spider-Verse, but is what Prime has kind of been hinting to and alluding to with all these different characters from different timelines and different Spider-Mans and different dimensions, are we building a Sinister Six out of a multiverse instead of like in one cohesive actual dimension?
Right. You know, and I think, wasn't Jamie Foxx confirmed too?
Yes, he was.
Yep. Electro?
Actually, he was confirmed. He was one of the first ones, I believe.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, that is shaping up to be a massive
And this is
movie.
where it goes to, I think Sandman guy too is being talked to. I can't think of his name of here.
Well, it's Thomas Hayden Church.
Yeah.
He's confirmed.
He's
confirmed. Yep, he's confirmed.
Which, by the record, he's a very underrated actor.
Dude, he's an incredible actor. Thomas Hayden Church. I used to love. Did you ever watch Wings?
No, but I watched the other show that he was in with the girl. The TV show was something like Will and Grace. Fuck, what was that show?
I can't remember.
Anybody remember that show that he was in? Yes, I know he was in Wings. He was wild. He was funny in that.
Yeah, he was goofy as hell in Wings.
But he was in another. He was in another sitcom with another lady. Man.
Wings is like, the only reason I watched Wings because I was in high school and my dad was like, you gotta watch this show, and I was like, come on, dude.
There's already been rumors of Doctor Strange because it's Sam Raimi that will get a Bruce Campbell.
You gotta get a Bruce Campbell cameo or something. You gotta get Bruce Campbell in there.
You have to Bruce Campbell. But yeah, so
how about? Sorry, real quick. Evil Dead game.
Oh yeah, that looked fucking cool.
Oh, dope. All right. Anyways, continue.
That looked fucking cool because that's actually gonna take place.
How have you seen Wings but not Daredevil? Dude, I was in like 10th grade when Wings was on TV.
Right. I was usually watching other things with it. So the question you did bring up, Blanca brings up Tom Hardy. I think this is how we spin into, because the rumor is, with Venom and the Venomverse, and because Sony wants to have more control of their Spider-Verse or whatever you want to call it, their Spider MCU or whatever. This is how all this stuff we're talking about, we're putting together. This is how somehow Tom Holland, as Spider-Man, is able to bounce around into the Venom movie and this Venomverse, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of things going here, and it seems like Sony and MCU or Marvel are working better together on a lot of this stuff. Because the Morbius movie isn't talked about at all too, but that Sony running that movie's gonna be fucking awesome too. That looks awesome.
It says Ned and Stacy.
Ned and Stacy. Is anybody at all familiar with Ned and Stacy?
Sounds like it was a one-season episode. One-season show.
Actually, but he's an amazing actor. And
I love Thomas Hayden Church.
He's an amazing actor. What's up?
He was in Tombstone. He's one of the cowboys.
He's in one of the greatest movies of all time. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight.
Demon Knight, yes.
What's up, Billy Zane?
Billy Zane.
That movie's an amazing.
I just watched Titanic.
It's also got William Sadler too.
William Sadler's in that,
and Jada Pinkett Smith.
Pretty dope cast.
Before she had an entanglement.
Panic was all over that Jada. He was quick on that Jada.
He was on that Jada.
Jada.
We all on that Jada.
Is it called 3 because that is over a number for the amount of times Tone will have to pee during the movie? Probably.
Oh, I've already got to go.
He's probably got to go again. So let's move on to the next topic. Now do you have to go now?
No.
Okay, good.
I can hold it for
all
a
right,
couple minutes.
So last
Just keep it short. Just keep it short.
We had a trailer drop. And when I sent it to you, you were like, what?
Yeah.
Now, we were going to run the trailer on the show, but there's some music in it, and Twitch is really trigger happy right now with music.
Well, it's YouTube.
Everybody is. So we just kind of cut the audio out, but this trailer looks good. And again, another show. Well, now, look, Bob Odenkirk has proven with Better Call Saul that he is a dramatic actor when he needs to be. But obviously, I loved him as Mr. Show with Bob and David on HBO when I was younger. It was awesome. But
and so much stuff.
We got a new trailer here for a movie that's coming out on February 26th. And let's talk a little bit briefly about this. This is from one of the producers of John Wick. And there are a lot of John Wick vibes in this trailer, obviously. But Bob Odenkirk is this family guy. You see he's in this house here. He gets robbed. He doesn't have it in him to kill the intruder. And everyone kind of calls him out throughout the beginning of the trailer, but then you kind of see this other side of him come out, and then you kind of learn a little bit about his backstory as, I can't remember what he was called. Not a cleaner, an auditor.
An auditor.
He's an auditor.
Yeah, I was going to say cleaner.
And he says something to the effect of if I came to your house, it means you weren't going to be around much longer. So you're like, oh. And dude, this looks fucking sweet. And I love the fact that Christopher Lloyd is his dad.
Yeah,
Doc Brown is his dad. I was like, okay, this is sweet.
What a random guy to have his dad, but that's good.
Random as fuck. This is an R-rated movie from the creators of John Wick, and he's playing the suburban life. He gets robbed, and now he's like, you know what? I want fucking revenge for what's going on right now.
Yeah,
and you get to see Bob Odenkirk fuck people up.
I fucking like. Here's the thing. I love Breaking Bad.
Yep.
My favorite character in Breaking Bad by the time the
Saul
character was on
Goodman.
was Saul Goodman. I love that character. That's my favorite character in Breaking Bad. And when they announced that Saul Goodman was getting his own show, Better Call Saul, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Right?
Yeah.
Bob Odenkirk is not only a funny motherfucker and will do just about anything for funny with David Cross or whoever it is.
Yep.
Now to see something like this out of him, because when he gets in his drama, like you see it in Better Call Saul, and I gotta figure that's part of the reason like they were like, let's try this with you, because in Better Call Saul, there are moments in dialogue and scenes that he does. He's not as goofy and characterized.
He's very serious.
He's very serious in Better Call Saul. And listen, this is gonna sound crazy, but like I love Breaking Bad. Do not get me wrong, and I like it for different reasons. I like Better Call Saul. But I find myself really more engaged in Better Call Saul because I think it's Bob Odenkirk. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not saying it's better than the other. I'm just saying for me personally, I love this character and I love what's going on with him. But this, in an action film?
Again, you see these guys that are like, and obviously, Bob Odenkirk is a talented actor. You've seen him go from comedy to very grimy drama comedy with some comedy elements to it. But now you're putting him in a John Wick style action movie. But the thing is about Bob Odenkirk, he's got charisma.
That's what it comes down to.
He's got charisma. He can be funny. He can be witty. But obviously, you see in this trailer, he can do a little bit of action.
I'm pretty sure, if I have to guess, because he's one of these guys that puts 110% what he's done.
Oh yeah,
he probably went into this fully committed.
And again, you get to see a lot of scenes in this trailer where there's some humor. Like he gets to flex his, he gets to do what he does good, and that's humor. But he's also got that gritty, that grimy way about himself where he can carry these scenes. And I'm really excited for this.
I'm probably way more. We're both probably way more excited than anybody probably should be about this.
Yep.
And it might end up being really fucking awesome, and then we can say we're kings or something. But the question I have is that this is dumping ground season.
Well, see, now that's
February 26th.
I'm glad you brought that up, because February typically is dumping ground season. But in the last couple of years,
right,
people are taking advantage of February,
just like video games started to.
February, for the longest time, and rightfully so, was considered the dumping ground. January and February. If you want to put out a movie that everyone's going to forget, that's not going to cost you a whole lot and won't lose you a whole lot, you put it in fucking February.
Yep.
February and January. Die Hard. A Good Day to Die Hard was like one of the movies in February. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is fucking terrible. But now you're starting to see movies pop up in February that are actually really good. If I remember correctly, I think the first John Wick was a February movie. I want to say one of the John Wick movies dropped in February, and that's why everyone was like, holy
anybody
shit.
Confirm that, King or Cap?
I almost want to say that
know.
John Wick was one of those movies, but maybe not.
Man.
But I just know there's been a couple movies in recent memory that have dropped in February. You're like, oh, shit.
So, well, here's my question, though. Outside of that, is this going to be available on streaming services?
We don't know. It says February 26th in theaters, but things are changing so quick.
Real fast.
We have no idea. John Wick 2 was February. And John Wick 2 was fucking awesome. John Wick 2 was fucking sweet.
My favorite of the series.
There you go. Thank you, McGarrett. There you go. John Wick 2. I mean, but there's been other movies outside of John Wick 2 that have dropped in February, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. No,
this isn't a total dump.
This is one of the first ones after the turn of the year that hadn't been announced prior that I'm.
This trailer dropped out of nowhere. I mean, I don't think anybody knew that this movie was being made. And when this trailer, when I seen the trailer, I honestly almost thought it was like a spoof trailer. I was like, oh, sweet Bob Odenkirk.
Well, he does, because he does stuff with like fucking Tim and Eric and shit. Like, this is a fucking
and Mr.
joke.
Sean, Bob and David, they made fun of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you watch this trailer, like, this is real.
This is real.
And I'm down with this.
Fuck yeah.
I am on board for February 26th. So, yeah, Deadpool, boom, that was fucking February.
That was actually on Valentine's Day.
Yep, there you go. So, I mean, yes, for the longest time, this was considered a dumping grounds for movies. But the trend lately is you can put movies out here that are really good, and they do very, very, very well. It's wintertime. Right. People want to be somewhere warm. Go to a theater. Now, with the pandemic going on, yes, the vaccines are going out. I don't know how well this will do in theaters because obviously Bob Odenkirk is not quite a household name in the movie scene. And you got a pandemic going on. It might be a tough struggle for it to make money, but if they can get this thing out on streaming services, this thing will make fucking a ton of money. I hope so. I hope that's the case. I would like to see it.
Yes.
Really, really good trailer. So moving on to our movie review of the week. Now, this one is the premise of it is absurd. And when Tone sent me the video, he goes, "Hey, we should watch this." And I was like, "Oh fuck, dude, I don't know about this one."
I love finding bullshit on
I was
Amazon.
expecting this to be a movie where somebody made it with like a handheld camera and it
Mhm.
was gonna be like a college project. But let's talk about Santa Jaws.
Santa Jaws. Right now, if you are an Amazon Prime member, you can watch for free, sitting at a 3.8 on IMDb and about a 3.5 stars, maybe 4.5. I can't remember for sure.
3.8 on IMDb.
Right, yeah. And I think 4.5 stars on Amazon with 56 reviewers so far, I believe. Something around there.
Now look, Santa Jaws. When you even honestly, man, when I watched the trailer, I was like, "This is going to be this is like a college project. This is some kids made this movie."
Still could be.
I watched it today, and I gotta say, I didn't feel like I wasted my time.
There are a lot worse movies that you could spend your time with, like Jiu-Jitsu, and this was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It wasn't as great as I was hoping it was going to be.
I mean, going into it, you watch this trailer, like, this is low budget.
I want this to be awesome. Now, there was some great stuff about it. Like, anything involving the shark itself was kind of fucking cool. Like, I dug, like, the red eyes, the Santa hat, had the fucking
he's got the jingle bells when he's swimming
right,
around.
right. Instead of, like, the Jaws theme, you were getting that. You know, there was some great stuff going on with this. And honestly, like, I was entertained. A matter of fact, it's one of those movies where it's so bad it's almost good, but not like Killer Clowns level or something like that, like you said earlier. But there was a couple of deaths where I'm just like, why? Because you saw it was coming.
My legs.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, so maybe it was a passion project for somebody. I don't know if this is ever going to be a classic necessarily, but I'm going to tell everybody, give it a watch. You might not watch it again.
If you're sitting around on a Saturday night and you got a 6-pack of beer and you
sci-fi.
got nothing else
There you
going on, you could waste your time in a lot worse ways.
Right. Honestly, you could. And matter of fact, you might be at least somewhat entertained.
This will not enter the conversation we'll have here shortly, but it is a movie where I just was like, okay, this is goofy.
Yeah.
You know, it pulls a lot. There are little vibes of Home Alone. You can tell there's little nods to Home Alone. There's some nods to Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yep.
You know, it's an absurd plot. And the kid who was in this movie, who reminds me of Edward Furlong.
He looked exactly like Edward Furlong.
He sounds and looks like Edward Furlong.
Yeah, like before he hit puberty, like that. Yeah. He looks like he's like almost 20, but he's like got the he's like 14.
He looks like Edward Furlong.
Yeah.
Basically, he gets it's like Home Alone. He gets punished, and he wishes something to happen, and something happens, and Santa Jaws appears.
He's an artist.
Yeah, he's an artist. You could even say it's got a little bit of One Crazy Summer. He draws stuff. Shit happens. But it is it's an hour and a half.
It's kind of ridiculous. Like,
it's absurd. But the thing is, man, like when you look at a movie like this has an absurd plot, much like Jiu-Jitsu. You're like, this is fucking crazy. But you don't have people in here trying to win Oscars.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, everyone kind of knows this is ridiculous. And there are certain little nods by the actors and decisions they make and comments they make where you're just like, okay. We're having fun with this.
I'm pretty sure everybody on this fucking scene didn't get paid except in like Subway coupons.
And there are some performances in this movie where you're just like, okay, that guy's probably never going to
comic
work
book. The comic book guy was not.
Comic book guy. We talked about this before the show. If there was a movie for Nicolas Cage, I would have rather seen him as comic book guy than Jiu-Jitsu.
He in this role.
There was a lot. The way they wrote this character would have really been awesome for Nicolas Cage.
That character should have been more of like the ancient one or something like like I don't know. But anyways, it was enjoyable. I just thought there's some absurdities. You got the suburbia family living on a coast somewhere, and all of a sudden bad stuff's happening. Instead of calling the cops are like authorities or nothing.
No,
but mom and dad who works their 9 to 5s all of a sudden come out with their fucking like rifles, like
from World War II.
Clearly never took a fucking hunting lesson or any shit. I don't fucking know, but it was really absurd. And some of the stuff that happens with the shark and characters either dying or just the shark in general were goofy, absurd, and it just kind of worked in a kind of weird, charming way. And
CGI is bottom of the barrel. It's
it's the
really
best you can do with what you got.
It is what it is, and the performances for the most part are kind of all over the place. Some of them are actually kind of funny. But the thing that's cool about it is, don't let the trailer fool you. This is actually for what it is, an adequately produced movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought honestly it was gonna be some asshole with his iPhone shooting shit.
Yeah, DC CGI. Honestly, the shark at some points probably looked better than some of the DC CGI. I'll be honest.
If anything, this proves that Bruce, the rubber shark from Jaws, was a much better option. CGI in this type of movie is going to be very, very cheap. I wish they would have used something like a rubber shark because it probably looked a little bit better. But overall, like I said, if you're sitting around on a Saturday night and it's Christmas time or the season of Christmas or whatever. Not you could do a lot worse. You could do jiu-jitsu. Yeah. It could be a lot worse.
That could be a lot worse.
But no, entertaining, funny, goofy, but nothing you're going to remember probably months later. You're not going to watch this in the off season. So Rare Exports is the craziest. Panic Games, I have seen Rare Exports. I own Rare Exports, and that movie is fucking bonkers. Rare Exports is I wasn't going to mention it in the next segment, but because he mentioned it, yeah, it's fucking nuts. Rare Exports is crazy.
Fair enough, Gypsy.
I own that Panic. It's actually pretty good. All right, let's move on to that section. We're going to talk about some movies that we recommend at Christmas time. Now, obviously, you have all the mainstream classics. Mm-hmm. You got you see Home Alone. You see National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Santa Claus, all that shit. We've seen all these movies. There's a lot of movies that people love at Christmas time. What is it? A White Christmas? What's the one with Jimmy Stewart where he's running around? Merry Christmas, everybody. It's the black and white flick. A Wonderful Life. Yeah. Whatever. Jingle all Cuddles. Cuddles picks the worst fucking movie of life.
Jingle all the way.
Arnold that movie sucks.
Howard, put the cookie down.
Young Anakin Skywalker is the kid in that movie.
That's right. Yeah.
Jake Lloyd or whatever.
Put the cookie down.
Yeah, that movie is terrible.
Lloyd, yeah.
The movie's terrible.
Whatever.
But Tom, I'm gonna go to you first because I know you're not typically a huge fan of Christmas movies, but there's a couple.
Iron Man 3 gets thrown out there funny. Yeah, I'm not really a Christmas guy. I'm be honest. I don't have a lot of affinity to it. It's probably because after 14 years working in retail, it's destroyed me. But prior to that, I did enjoy things about Christmas. And there's some movies that I enjoy that are Christmassy, and mine are going to be more mainstream because, again, I don't give usually two shits. Yes, Gremlins would definitely be one of them. I've got a list of 5 or so that I do enjoy. Gremlins is definitely
Die Hard's up there. Again, that's more of a mainstream one that everyone kind of knows about, despite Bruce Willis being a knucklehead. But
I don't have
Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
I don't have anything off the books for folks. I do. I'm gonna just kind of talk about the ones I enjoy. Like I do enjoy a lot of the stuff up here. I don't like National Lampoons like everybody else does. I don't dislike it by any means, clearly, but it's not one where like, oh, it's Christmas, gotta watch this.
Hold on a sec.
What?
Did Brian just come in and say a Serbian film is my favorite Christmas movie?
Is that real?
Brian, you are in timeout for the rest of the year, sir. Serbian film is one of the just most twisted movies I've ever seen.
Honestly, at the end of the day, for me, like besides Rudolph and Gremlins, and things like that I enjoy. This one, where am I pointing right here?
Right there it is.
This
Ralphie.
is so. I'm very cliche. I know there are people that hate this one. I understand that.
Dude, and if they hate that movie, I don't trust them.
There are people that do hate this.
I don't trust them.
One of my few things that I like and miss about my anything Christmas that I like is that for many years when I was living with roommates and stuff like that, up until honestly when I got married, or even I guess 2010, 2011-ish, I would always go to my parents' house on Christmas Eve, hang out, we'd drink, we'd share a few gifts, and then in the morning I'd wake up, I would fall asleep on the couch or in my old room watching A Christmas Story over and over on TBS, over and over and over. I am such a fan of this that I will literally watch it nonstop over and over if I have that ability to, because I absolutely love it. I will watch it like I'm watching it the first time every time as well too. It is one of the few things about Christmas that I really enjoy, that really kind of bring the season together for me. So usually I'm desensitized till Christmas Day or even Christmas Eve at that point. So
I just want to touch on Christmas Story for a moment. The reason that I like Christmas Story so much.
It's French.
It's a movie that has seriously I've been able to relate to from when I was a child to where I'm at now because of the performances and the way that everyone is in this movie. You know, obviously growing up, I was Ralphie. You know, you're trying to do everything you can to get what you want for Christmas. Mm-hmm. You know, I could relate to Ralphie in so many ways. And then after having kids, I'm watching this movie and I'm like, you know what? The dad is totally unappreciated in this movie. Mm-hmm. Gavin, his last name escapes me. He's also he's Billy Madison's dad.
Yeah,
is in this.
What are you, some sort of damn moron or something?
But he is so good as the father. He mumbles throughout the movie, but he comes through the ending scene with the father when he's like, they're sitting and he goes, "Did you get everything we want?" And Ralphie's like, almost everything. He's like, "Oh, you know, hey, it's, you know, it is what it is. You know, what can you do?" And he's like, "Hey, wait a minute. What's that over there?"
Right.
And Ralphie runs over there, and then, you know, as he's opening the present, you see the dad. He's like, "Yeah, open it up." Like, the dad is into it. Like, he gets it. He loves the connection he has. He loves knowing that he's able to make his kid's Christmas, you know, a reality, and he's delivering the goods. And then when Ralphie runs upstairs, he looks at, you know, his wife, you know, obviously the mom is completely against it. And he's like, "Well, I mean, I had one when I was a kid." I was like, dude, I was just like so moved by that because I was like, you know what? I loved Ralphie growing up as a kid, but as a father, I'm like, you know what? That's what I want to do.
You kind of
I want to be able to pick up on what my kid really wants.
Yeah.
And deliver at the 0 hour, being, "Hey man, what's that over there?"
Right.
I fucking love that part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that part.
I totally get that.
It's a great movie, and I'm just glad that I can bring it forward with me as I get older and appreciate certain things from a different perspective. Because the parents are fucking awesome in the movie, the mom and the dad.
Yeah,
they're both amazing actors.
The performance in the entire, like, everybody, it's all great. I love it.
What else? Anything else stand out other than that?
I mean, that's really it for me. Like I said, I'm not really a Christmas guy. I will say, though it came in recently, that Fat Man is now a staple in my holiday viewing.
Absolutely.
So, I'm absolutely a huge fan of that. But I love that dark twist and all that. So that's me.
That's yours. Well, you know, obviously some of the people in the chat have mentioned, you know, like the diehards, and I like Christmas Vacation once Cousin Eddie shows up.
Yeah.
Once Cousin Eddie shows up, the movie takes on a whole new just fucking trajectory, and it's hilarious. But, you know, as I've gotten older, I'm starting to see movies that kind of explore kind of dark themes through the Christmas spirit. I love that. What's the word I'm looking for? The word escapes me because I'm drunk. But just how it's so different from the Christmas vibe. And then you kind of touch on these darker themes. Like, you look at movies like Fat Man. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a violent movie. Yeah, it's got some dark themes that it touches on. But beneath the surface, there's an underlying story arc that is uplifting. And you're just like, man, Santa just wants to be appreciated. He wants to see the world do well. It's got a good story.
Right.
It's violent. It's dark. Scrooge is another fucking great Christmas movie. Scrooge is awesome. Bill Murray is incredible in Scrooge.
Absolutely.
And that's a
great one I didn't even think of.
It's not so much a lot of the stuff that he says in that movie. He says a lot of shady shit. He's an asshole in that movie. Yeah. He's an asshole, but it's a lot of the nuanced performance, a lot of the little things that he does as, you know, as his character, and it's just like, dude, he's so good. He's so good. Scrooge is good. Krampus is good. I love Krampus. I thought Krampus was actually a really entertaining movie. But when I look at these movies that have like these dark themes, like I look at Bad Santa. I'm not going to talk about Bad Santa 2 because that movie was trash. But Bad Santa, again, grimy, gritty, vulgar, disgusting, whatever. But beneath the surface, a good moral to story. Like, he's just trying to be better, and he finds a way to be good to a kid who doesn't have a whole lot of like going on for him. You know, it's just a feel good movie wrapped up in a lot of bullshit and a lot of like grimy, gross stuff. And then I look at a movie like Fat Man, same thing. And then another movie that's completely underappreciated. Honestly, and if you guys get the opportunity to watch it this holiday, please do. The Ref. The Ref with it sucks because Kevin Spacey is in it, and obviously with everything that's going on with Kevin Spacey,
That's polarizing.
It's polarizing as hell. But I mean, I'll still watch the movie Seven, even though Kevin Spacey is in it. But The Ref with Kevin Spacey, Dennis Leary, and I'm too fucking buzzed up to remember the lady's name. Judy Davis. I think her name is Judy Davis. Are you really? Jesus, I couldn't even throw the thing up. I can't even watch Gilmore Girls. That's right. I forgot about she's in that. But you guys, if you get a chance to watch The Ref with Dennis Leary, Kevin Spacey, and Judy Davis, it is an absolutely hilarious Christmas movie. Absolutely hilarious. Dennis Leary is like this bank robber or like this burglar. He breaks into this house. He gets kind of trapped in this little small town, and he decides to kidnap Kevin Spacey and Judy Davis, who are like this married couple, and they bicker. They have like this dysfunctional family, and they're bickering this whole time. But the way they attack each other, the things they say, and the things they do to each other, you're just like, oh my god, that is crazy. It explores like dysfunctional family, explores marriage a little bit. It's definitely on the more mature side of like Christmas movies, whereas Fat Man and Bad Santa are a little bit more straightforward. This one has some more like mature themes that it explores, but he is like, what is wrong? Yeah, what is wrong with you people? It's really an underrated film. Like, I love movies like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, A Christmas Story, Home Alone. All that shit is great. But I love these mature themed Christmas movies that explore different dynamics that you wouldn't expect someone to explore at Christmas time. So if you get an opportunity, obviously I'm sure a lot of you have seen Bad Santa. I'm sure a lot of you have seen like Krampus and Fat Man. Hopefully you've seen Fat Man. Fat Man's fucking awesome. But I feel like The Ref is one of those movies that is just really underappreciated. And it's something that a lot of people should really check out. Because even with Kevin Spacey in it, he's great in it. Obviously, he was really, really good. Judy Davis is incredible in it. She is awesome. And Dennis Leary, again, is hilarious in this movie. It's a good flick. So you guys should definitely check out The Ref. It is really good. Hopefully Tone comes back because I'm fucked up and I feel like I'm slurring a lot. But we'll move into our final topic of the evening. We'll wrap this up. We kind of knew this was going to be a long show, so I do apologize for it taking so long, but there's a lot of stuff we wanted to talk about. And to be honest with you, because we aren't going to have a show for 3 weeks, we're probably going to have a lot to talk about on January 6th. Obviously, Wonder Woman. Dude, the Nicolas Cage. We didn't get a chance to grab the promo, but there's a Nicolas Cage show airing on Netflix where he examines like the 7 swear words. It looks fucking hilarious. But we are going to talk about our favorite games of 2020 to wrap up the show. Obviously, the Game Awards was out last week. Saw a lot of kick-ass shit at the Game Awards. Yeah. There was a lot of controversy with the pick for Game of the Year. But, Game Awards, was there any trailers that you saw that you wanted to touch on really quick? I know there was one.
Yeah, the big one, honestly, was, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Was it Callisto?
Oh, for
Callisto
Project.
Callisto Project, brought to you by what used to be Visceral Games of Dead Space fame, one of my all-time favorite series, sci-fi horror. They're doing a new game coming out in 2022.
Callisto Protocol.
Yeah.
From Krafton. Or no, that's the publisher.
The Mass Effect thing I know got people excited, but I don't have a huge stake in that.
In general, I'm just concerned about anything BioWare related at this point.
I think it really
they've got a couple of strikeouts. They're working on Anthem. It's a revamped version of Anthem. They're working on Dragon Age. They're working on fucking Mass Effect. Like, how many people do they have? Callisto Protocol, or as I call it, I can't believe it's not Dead Space.
Fucking EA.
That trailer was dope, though. That trailer was dope for Callisto Protocol. It looked really, really good.
Excited. But I mean, yeah, the winners. The one thing I will say of all, this is going to be very, very probably silly, but the soundtrack Game of the Year went to Final Fantasy VII Remake, which was very exciting for me because that original soundtrack's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was playing that game, I played a lot of times with the headset on, actually, too, instead of just using my surround sound. It's the game, and I kept saying it, too. I was telling people, I'm like, man, this game sounds really fucking good. Like, why is anybody talking about the soundtrack being remastered?
Right. Yep.
And that one, soundtrack of the year. So that was a little special one for me. Last of Us 2 winning Game of the Year overall by critics or whoever you want to say. Man, that's figured that was going to happen.
Yep.
Because a lot of awards came down to Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, and Last of Us 2.
Yep.
So.
But Tone, overall from 2000, I know you've played obviously Final Fantasy VII. You played quite a
All
few
three of
games
those,
this
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
What's your favorite games or game of 2020, man?
Fuck. I've been doing this for 2 weeks. Yeah, I can see that. It depends on how you look at it overall. For me, Final Fantasy VII Remake is one of the best looking ones out there and was more amazing than it should have been and sounded great. Last of Us 2 was one of the most amazing experiences from a story standpoint that I've ever played in video games, period. Ghost of Tsushima made me feel like I was literally in a feudal Japanese era. Had great sound, felt like I was in a movie. So for me, between those three, if I had to, at the end of the day, with a gun point and say, what's your game of the year, or what was your biggest game, or whatever you want to say, probably going to have to go with Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say Final Fantasy VII. That's why I wrote that.
Well, it was really between Ghost and Last of Us 2, because I love that narrative. But overall, Ghost, just, it might not have the strong narrative maybe necessarily that Last of Us had.
Yep. But
Ghost was, it was the difference between kind of like this realism and this real, and that's fair, Brian, because like I said, trust me, ask me tomorrow and I might tell you different. This was me having to point blank it because I haven't been able to make this decision.
Mm-hmm. It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
But yeah, Ghost, especially with the free DLC, yeah, Jay McKenzie, like, just everything about that feudal Japan, man, like, the story is so classic. It was so, there was many times where it was almost predictable, but at the same time, it was still, just a great story being told. So, end of the day, Ghost
of Tsushima. Okay,
yeah,
that's
that's
fine
me.
pick. There have been a lot of great games.
A lot
this year. There was a lot of great stuff. And with the with The Last of Us 2 taking Game of the Year, it's I wasn't pissed about it. I wasn't upset about it because honestly, from a narrative perspective, it is the best told story of this generation. The way that Neil Druckmann crafted this story was incredible because it wasn't the straightforward stuff that you would expect from a single player game in the video game medium. It's usually pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot of bouncing around and looking at it from different perspectives and forcing you to think outside the box and think, hey, look at this from a different angle. You don't get that in video games very often. You get a lot of straightforward stuff that, oh, look, this is playing out like I kind of expected it to. Whereas The Last of Us 2, Neil Druckmann made some bold choices, very bold choices, very controversial choices with many characters. But the way that he laid out the story and the performances were next to nothing. I mean, this Naughty Dog is on a different level in terms of storytelling. It's incredible. It's really, really good. It's honestly, and I know that Neil Druckmann is under fire from like certain groups of people, and I can't help them. I wouldn't agree with any of them. I don't understand the hate, but it is what it is. This is one of the best told stories I've played ever. The way that he bounced around through time, because it was so beneficial to the story. It was so beneficial of developing characters. It was so beneficial to make you think about stuff. It's not as simple as who's good and who's bad.
Right.
At the beginning of the game, you're like, fuck, man, I want this character dead. That's bullshit. But the way that Neil Druckmann designed the story, and then you play it and you're like, oh, not that cut and dry.
Right.
And that's the beauty of The Last of Us. It's never just right or wrong, black and white. It is gray area. And the way that he tells a story, it's incredible. There's no other video game that tells a story like The Last of Us. They're just that good. That being said, for my time, having fun, a decent story, content, Ghost of Tsushima is my favorite game from 2020. It's a lot of fun. It's fun to play. It's a beautiful world to explore. The side quests, the main quests, everything is meaningful. It's strong. It's good stuff. No, Would I compare this narratively to The Last of Us 2? No. No. Last of Us 2 has its beat, narrative speaking. But Ghost of Tsushima is no slouch. It's a good story.
It's like, yeah.
The gameplay is fun. The world is great to
Yeah.
explore.
Mm-hmm.
Legends is absolutely incredible and free. Overall package, Ghost of Tsushima is the best game of 2020 that I played. Love it. Nothing against Last of Us 2. It's great. Loved it. But Ghost of Tsushima is the best game I played this year. Simple as that. Anyone else want to be a cabin laying in front of a cozy fire feeding the dude grapes?
What do you think I have to do after the show, dude?
Yeah, man. This is going to be a
Big
long
whoop.
night over
Come
here.
over. Take care. I want to go home.
Brian says, I think I'm going to lean towards Final Fantasy VII Remake. I just love those characters too much, and the fact that there's more to come is exciting. That's very exciting.
And you know what, Brian? Like, that's the thing, is like we're really talking about these two, but Final Fantasy VII
it's
for
not
me,
a complete game yet. Yeah.
well, just generally like how they were constructed that into like one piece that made sense. But like when I was playing that, and you might remember me telling you this, like when I was playing again, I felt like I was playing it for the first time in '97 because I never replayed it. I hadn't played it in like almost over 20 years.
Right.
You know, so it was like, holy shit! Like I was completely drawn in again. The way they crafted that part one of it and spread it out, and you got more character development for even the little characters.
Mm-hmm.
It made you kind of just like the two games we're talking about. It made you care more about some of those side quests and some of those little things. So, but it was that sound that of all three of them. Don't get me wrong, the Last of Us 2 soundtrack is really good too,
really good,
and even Ghost of Tsushima because you get more of that that vibe that you want for that. But the Final Fantasy VII Remake soundtrack,
lights out, huh? Not even close. Although, to be honest, Breath of the Wild is my game of the year only because I actually got a Switch for the first time earlier. Okay, all right. I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Nice try, though.
Nice try. But I mean, ultimately, there were a lot of great games this year. Obviously, Doom Eternal reviewed very well. You really enjoyed Spider-Man Miles Morales as well. I mean, you said that was an exceptional game,
and that does count technically to this last year.
I mean,
too.
It just depends on the
how the scale works. That narrative is really good.
it's
really good. I like Miles a lot.
It's really
Spider-Man.
Good. But Tone,
this has been probably our longest show yet.
Yep.
So,
and I appreciate everyone that has hung out for the entire time. I know this is a lot longer than a lot of you guys are used to, but we knew there was going to be a lot to talk about. There was just too much to cover, and we wanted to make sure we touched on everything. And we appreciate everybody that hung out.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, the Cyberpunk thing was hot. That was a great conversation.
That was a great conversation.
That was a really good conversation. And Megara, don't ever worry about being heated.
Yeah, no, we might not always agree, but
yeah,
I'm always right.
He's not saying you're wrong. He's just saying he's right.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all he's saying.
Gets it.
But no, we have a lot of great stuff that we talk about tonight. We appreciate everybody in the chat that was a part of it. Conversing, sharing their thoughts, sharing their opinions. You guys and girls are the reason that we do this. I mean, it's fun. It's a lot of fun being able to have conversations, whether they're lighthearted or maybe things heat up a little bit. But at the end of the day, we respect your guys and girls' opinions. We want to hear from you. That's the only reason we do this is because we want to interact and hear from you guys and girls. So for you guys to chime in on all these topics means so much to us.
Absolutely.
Again, big shout out to Mystic Mike. Thank you so much for the gifted subs tonight, man.
Yeah,
really appreciate it. That was awesome. We had a couple other subs
here.
tonight, and we appreciate you as well. This is a long show.
It is. I'll finish it out with a couple things. As always, if you get a chance, check out Half-Ass Beer Review, please, on YouTube ASAP. Give him a holler if you like exploring beers. You have to do that. Panic Games as well. YouTube, catch up with a lot of his board gaming goodness. A lot of folks in here are streamers as well too. King Cuddles, we got a lot of great content creators in here. Check some of these folks out. They're great people. They're great supporters. Ant House Beats, he does amazing music, and we use his music here in the show. And don't forget, as always, if you've got some extra gill, clamshells, or cheddar laying around, ProWrestlingTees.com. Go check out Rohit Raju t-shirts, Jake Something t-shirts. Support these guys. They're out there working hard in sweat, blood, and tears to create awesome wrestling content for all of us. And, of course, at the end of the year here, thank you, Candy Core Girl. You as well have an amazing holiday. All of you, enjoy that PS5. All of you have a great holiday. This is the last show of the year. We appreciate where you've brought us. I keep saying I don't really want to focus on how shitty 2020 is. Let's just look to the future of 2021. We're going to take a 3-week hiatus or so. Be back around January 6th, I think.
January 6th is that Wednesday? Yeah.
Yep. So we're going to have hopefully some things finished out.
So Wonder Woman we're going to have to talk about.
Wonder Woman we'll be talking about.
I'm sure we'll talk about Nick Cage's show on Netflix.
Nick Cage's show on Netflix, which we didn't even get into, but holy shit.
I mentioned a little bit when you're on your second pee break.
My second pee break, I got to pee again.
Obviously, Wonder Woman, that we have... we'll have plenty to talk about. Make sure you're in the Discord. We'll tell you what to keep an eye on. We'll talk about, obviously, Mandalorian, the finale.
Yep.
We got a lot of shit to talk about.
Yeah, it'll be a pretty hefty show then, too. Letterkenny, yes. Thank you, Letterkenny. As always, if you guys have never watched Letterkenny, check it out on Hulu ASAP, one of the funniest sitcoms of all time. It's actually in my top 10. It's only been out for a few years. And then we'll probably talk about my eggnog and mimosas going on throughout the holidays because there's going to be plenty of them starting next week. Both of them. Don't worry about that. Be drunk. Lot. But again, thank you for all the support this year. Let's look forward to 2021 being a little bit easier to deal with than this year.
God, it can't get any worse.
It really certainly can't get any worse. We got a week or two more left. Let's not lose any great people again. But hey, again, as always, once we get into the new year, we've got some new stuff we were going to integrate into the channel. So, and we talked about
evolve the show. We will not get complacent.
Right. And we want to get back to the B&B quickies and things like that as too. But most importantly of all that, we want to thank you as always for the gazillionth time. We appreciate all your support, all you've done. The only thing we ever ask of you is to share us with somebody on social media or somebody you know while you're hanging around having some eggnog if you're able to. This time of year, tell somebody about us. You know that word of mouth has been big to us, and you guys have all been really awesome to us, and we appreciate that so far. But we want to blow up. We want to get big. I want to move to Malibu. That's
it's not gonna happen when Dude Cuddles takes over in 2021.
Oh Jesus! Would you stop this Dude Cuddles shit? Yeah. But no, seriously.
Tone pretty much hit everything. You guys are great. Hop in that Discord. Make sure you're in there. Again, we have a lot of big plans for 2021 to evolve the show. The call-in line. We'll have giveaways for subs. We got a lot of cool stuff planned. So, nailed it. We appreciate you guys very much, guys and girls. You guys are awesome. And I hope each and every one of you has a great holiday season. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you're safe. Hopefully you're with family and friends. Have a good time. We'll be back on, I think it's January 6th. I should probably check that. Hey, January 6th, Banter and Babble will return. I will be streaming Friday night at 9 p.m. The Rage stream returns. Trials of Osiris, Destiny 2, and a locked 4K 60 PS5 and Xbox Series X. I'll be raging, drinking, and listening to that and house beats. It's going to be a rockin' night. But for Fanboytone, I'm TheDude79. We hope each and every one of you has a great holiday season. We'll see you in 2021, January 6th. Have a good one, everybody. We love you. Take care.